Okay, here I am showing the coal fly ash actually as sample, where we have seen that many elements are concentrated like chromium, arsenic, thorium, uranium. See, thorium natural concentration is about 10 to 12 ppm, but we got 30 to 40. So means coal fly ash, when it comes, many elements including uranium, thorium also getting pre-concentrated. This is a message to environment that the ash content or coal fly ash, heavy element, toxic element may be concentrated, that is not there, that is higher than the earth crust. Then we are talking about some element like arsenic, iodine, chromium, lead, selenium. So we know very well that arsenic, iodine, selenium, arsenic is toxic, mercury is toxic, chromium is toxic. However, selenium and iodine are they are nutrient, but they should be controllable. So we have a iodine deficiency, hyper or hypoiodine. Like that, with selenium also deficiency and selenium toxicity also there. So all these elements like arsenic should be in water 10 ppb level, iodine should be 50 to 150 microgram per day. Similar way, silicon also 40 to 400 microgram per day. Means below 40 microgram per day it is deficiency, above 400 selenium is now hyper selenium. So it is necessary when you are taking a food, water, it is necessary to check the concentration of toxic elements or nutrients. Each element can be toxic after some concentration. So for quality control purposes, their concentration need to be checked. Here is the water sample, and in water sample, this video, I don't know. So here the water sample, and this is the concentration like arsenic. A direct water sample has been taken in neutron activation analysis, and we have got the arsenic concentration. And these are water samples. 10 ppb is the limit, and the samples that are not treated properly and being used by from well or tube well, and their concentration is higher than the concentration that is recommended for drinking. So we have got how to know that arsenic now. What I am going to tell that the total elemental concentration is not enough to know toxicity. It is the chemical form, whether it is arsenic 3 or arsenic 5. In case of arsenic, arsenic 3 is more toxic than arsenic 5. And you can do it by solvent extraction, ion exchange. There are techniques, very easy techniques. You can separate between arsenic 3 and arsenic 5 and estimate them. So there are methods we have developed, and we applied a neutron activation analysis. And so some samples we have taken from like tube well water. Tube well is like underground water. So it is expected that arsenic 3 will be higher than the arsenic 5. High arsenic 5 is oxidized. And to our not surprise expectation, arsenic 3 is double than arsenic 5 from the sample, which is validating that if you are taking tube well water, arsenic 3 below 3 is more than the 5, and 3 is more toxic. Similarly, we have developed a membrane-based method where we have membrane-based method where we have developed a method for low-level detection of arsenic. You uptake in membrane, then do neutron activation, and there you have got like 3 ppb, and our safe limit is 10 ppb. So our value is very, very low. And this is published in Water Research and Journal of Hazardous Material. Recently, I was working with the collaboration with the one university from Odisha, and there we are working on chromium and chromium toxicity and remediation. And we have developed a method where you are adsorbed chromium and estimating by Na and Pixie. Similarly, we have worked in Punjab region for the selenium toxicity. Here is a sample where mustard grain having highest selenium concentration. As you know, mustard contains high sulfur, and sulfur and selenium concentration chemistry is same. So what they do in some region of Punjab having high selenium, they cultivate mustard plant, and mustard plant uptakes selenium from the soil, and this way selenium is coming to mustard, and the soil is becoming little bit selenium less. And now what to do this mustard? What they do? And they mix with having low selenium content, and this may be organic selenium which is not much toxic. And here is the sample like result. See, mustard is the highest concentration 670 ppm, whereas other samples are lower ppm. Similarly, worked on alloys and metals, where nuclear techniques can be used helpful for standardless. This is a stainless steel sample, standardless concentration of elements like iron, chromium, nickel, major elements and trace elements. We have developed a method where you can give composition without using a standard, and that is the method being used. And this method is very, very helpful for metals, alloys, like nickel alloy, stainless steel, zircon alloy, where you don't destroy the sample and the results are given without using a standard. That is called internal monomer standard. Similarly, we have to analyze some reference samples like CRM, and you can see our work and the certified sample in the concentration, and very, very good agreement. We can use like trace elements in hybrid material like 1s, like 99.5, 99.95% purity, and in that impurity level also can be given by neutron activation analysis. We are searching for like ores minerals, and DA interest is to get uranium from ores and soil. We are looking for uranium ore minerals, and such samples are there with us. And usually ores and minerals are highly homogeneous. We have developed a method for a small sample, large sample, and evaluating the uranium concentration. And these are all publications. Our DA interest, similarly ore and minerals like zircon, ilmenite, ore mineral. These are all research area, collaborative area, and we are getting uranium and thorium concentrations. And here is the peak for uranium through neptunium and thorium through protactinium. Na is very, very good neutral activation, is a high purity material, trace impurities like nuclear graphite, very, very high pure. And in that, ppb level concentration can be done without destroying the sample, taking direct sample and analyzing. Similar way, high purity aluminum, we have done spectroscopic technique, relative method, and single comparator method. That is a very good comparison for reference material as well as for the sample. In addition to our offline work, we have online Na, where you take the beam and expose the sample, get the prompt gamma. Very good for hydrogen, boron, and many neutron poisons. And you know, hydrogen is very important in metals, and boron is very important in nuclear technology and many other fields. You can see, like neutron activation analysis, very good for boron, cadmium, and rare earth elements. And this is an online technique. We can do ppm, ppb level concentration. And this facility is available at BRC Mumbai. This is a prompt gamma, how many spectrum for chlorine, and you can see from 500 to 8.5 MeV, mega electron volt. And this has been applied to reference material, alloys, cement, meteorite, all are bulk analysis, and samples can be returned. This is a simple calculation of boron at 1 ppm level can easily done by PGNA, N-alpha reaction. So this work is being carried out at BRC regularly. Coming back to charge particle work called ion beam analysis, you can take a proton beam or alpha. You can do particle-induced X-ray emission, particle-induced gamma ray emission, Rutherford backscattering, rain array. And if you PIXI is more work, PIXI like XRF, but the technique like PIGI, particle-induced gamma ray emission, which is a nuclear technique, is less used. So there is scope. Last 10 years, our group has worked. We have published a quite good number of papers, 35 papers in very, very important journals having high impact factor. And this has been applied to glass, ceramics, lithium ceramics, lithium ion battery, boron in boron carbide or ceramics, refractories, glass, glass forensic, many areas. Some of the results I will share with you. This is Pixie. All elements can be done, but not sensitive like Na. This is Pg. You can do lithium, beryllium, boron. All low-jet elements can be done by Pig. And this is my area of interest. Like Pp prime, take proton and inertial scattering. You get a gamma ray. Measure gamma ray for concentration. Advantages is simultaneous multi-element, low-jet elements, solid, and you can do like low energy some elements. If you do high energy, you can go to very high jet element also. Complemented to Pixie XRF what I am doing. So this is very good for low jet elements, Pg. Very simple, you take ion beam, there is a target, and if you see gamma ray, it is called Pg. If you do X-ray, it is called Pixie, particle induced X-ray emission or particle induced gamma rays. And here is a facility at BRC, a charge particle, Q into V, or Q plus 1 into B, you get energy, charge into potential, and you want 2 MeV, 3 MeV, 4 MeV, 5 MeV. We have accelerator from 2 MeV, you can get up to 18 MeV, or you can go to Calcutta, you can go to BRC, or you can go to Hyderabad, you can go to TI per Kolava, different facilities are there for ion beam work. Facility as a Potia, here is the probe detector, we do Pg at Institute of Physics, at TI per Mumbai. And you can have a target ladder like pellet or so many ladder targets you can work. These are pellets in vacuum chamber. And here is a lithium ion battery where we have done lithium and titanium. And our results of lithium and battery, lithium iron phosphate, this is a now technology transfer has been done by BRC. Our method has given the lithium concentration, all these materials that is already given to a company for lithium ion battery. But boron, boron is a very important material and also a control material in reactor, nuclear reactors. Also, it is very important in geology and different fields. Boron 10 to boron 11 is a very important approach to get their ratio. And this has been done by our technique. And you can see here by nuclear reaction, proton reaction, boron 10, boron 10, boron 11. You can easily get the ratio. So it is a very it is a technique which is alternate to mass spectrometry. In mass spectrometry, you can get high precision, but here you can get a very good result and very quickly, 2 to 5 minutes you can give. Like 50 samples in one day, we can give the isotope composition. And now it is opening a big area for industry to come to us, get the sample analysis and CQC results. We give certificate for their intended use in nuclear reactors and other fields. And they are the results of boron isotope composition. And I'm going to a field where forensic application towards society, and I have some few slides before I end, and I'll show some BRC facility and collaborations in another 10 minutes, and then I'll finish my talk. So how nuclear technique is being used for forensic applications? Just see, you can get like plastic, paper, skin, glass. There are samples. There are elements like barium, copper, antimony you can use for identification. Aluminum wire for this, glass is for this. Cannabis, narcotics, cannabis, like, where you can go for drugs and other material. You can, narcotics, this comes from narcotics. You can easily identify where it has come, and by analyzing many samples. So origin is very, very important, and that is in forensic work. So our method can be used for air, ink, many things, gunshot residue, then whether fake, like gold is fake or good carat or gemstone is natural or synthetic. Many things can be done for checking purpose, quality assurance, as well as for forensic purpose. See here, gunshot residue. You take, analyze for barium, antimony, copper. And they are very specific where the bullet has come. And you can easily identify area of bullet, you can analyze where it has come. Forensic scientists, they can easily do. And small sample you can do. Transmission wire, you can identify whether it is real or duplicate or it is stolen. Many things can be done. Like human hair, you can get many concentration from human hair. Here a work I'm showing, forensic application of windshield glass. That glass being used in car windshield, we have got a project from international project. 10 brands and 48 glasses were given to us for grouping. What we did, we took direct glass and analyzed the major elements. And same glass was taken for neutron activation analysis for about 15 trace elements. So activation analysis itself can give 21 elements, particle induced gamma emission giving 4 elements. So all the combination, now so many glasses users see we got recently and his project is completed. I did same DAX, Pixie XRA, PIGI and NA. All combinations gave a very good result for grouping the sample. See how you can do different car like Fiat, Mitsubishi, Renault, Hyundai. There are different brand cars and you can easily identify from trace elements. And here is the data like Honda, Mazda. See the potential of trace elements. What I'm telling, trace elements are so specific. Trace element from one glass in other glass may not be same because raw materials may be different. So trace element glass like 5 milligram, 10 milligram can only be done by a technique like NA. And NA is so powerful neutron activation analysis, you can identify, group them. So when you get 2 glasses, when you have to go for which car model has done the accident, from the database you can get. This is a big work. A PhD thesis have come. One International Atomic Energy Agency coordination project has been completed. Me as the principal coordinator or investigator. And this work is finding a lot of applications. We are getting a lot of now collaborations from National Forensic Science University. We are going big way. There is a big forensic gateway that to BRC for collaboration purpose. Just see, here is glass, do NA, do PIGI, do grouping, and it has been published in a very, very good journals. So this is the way our papers are there. Some 7, 8 papers we have got in glass forensics. And we told that transition elements and rare earth elements are specific. So addition of transition element concentration can differentiate from one glass to other glass. And similar, we can do fast neutron and there are some, I'll show you some result like narcotics or some like explosives. Explosive and narcotics can be done in airports and different places through fast neutron generator. Like the case C by O ratio, N by O ratio are very perfect. Heroin, cocaine. So this ratio gives you that you are either you are taking a narcotic drug or explosive. And these methods are very non-destructive. You can scan the truck, cargo scan, big material, hidden material by nuclear technique. So in the end, I can tell that the nuclear technique has a lot of potential for all elements, simultaneous, negligible matrix effect, non-destructive, specificity, high selectivity, high sensitivity, very less matrix effect, spectral interference. Isotope composition can be done, high precision, high accuracy. You can get unambiguous results. So many nuclear techniques in general, and neutron activation analysis in particular is considered to be a very fresh technique. And there are a lot of future, you have to develop more high precision, faster result, non-destructive way to do. So all the things, preparation reference materials, application to forensic, archaeology, food, all the things can be easily done by this technique. So this technique is welcoming a lot of collaborations. Please do write to me and for sure we'll find a common way for collaboration in future in physics, chemistry, biology and different fields. Coming back to 1-2 minutes for our institute, you know, our DAE set up in 1954 by Homi Jahangir Bhabha, but atomic energy establishment at a TIFR was 1948. So BRC started as a 54, but BRC name came afterwards, that it was Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So 1956 we got our first research reactor, and that time Homi Jahangir Bhabha, the mandate was enhance share of nuclear power, enhance other applications in agriculture, health, industry, go for high technology, promote broad-based research to atomic program, contribute to energy and national security. all area presently DA is working. Food, agriculture, health, research, national security, energy, nuclear power, radioisotope in health applications, radioisotope in industry, many areas we are working. And our installation very, very big. We have a DAE, we have many research organizations like BRC, Icfai, public sector like NPCL, industrial sector like BREET. We have an academic institute. We are giving degree, deemed university, Homewa National Institute. I'm a professor there. We have like TFR, IOP, Niger, Tata Memorial Hospital like Baba Hospital, Tata Memorial Hospital, Atomic Energy Society for Education. So many things we have. Electronic enterprises, ECIL, rare earth element, heavy water board. So many things are there. So we are welcoming all of you to visit our website like DAE or BRC. We have a broad view of BRC, Bhava Center from Mumbai. He'll view our administrative building, our this is our Cyrus reactor. You can have a view, our computer center, TIFR, Kolaba we have. A very good view of Bhava Administration Center. Once you visit, you can see there's a big laboratory called modular laboratory. It's a very big laboratory having 5 floors, 3 floors above ground and basement. And you can see a very good view of Arabian Sea, broad view of Bhava Administration Center, Dhruva and Cyrus reactor. Dhruva, I have a lab and also computer center. And here is our RLG. And we have a lab at this thing. And also I have a lab at Vandigraph here, accelerator. Our old Apsara, 1956. Our Cyrus reactor is 1960. Dhruva reactor, 1985. And Apsara reactor is just U is 2018. This is the latest. The collaborations areas which university can collaborate. Recently, large-scale facility open. Please visit UGC DAE CSR Mumbai Center, Council of Scientific Research. And here the neutron scattering, pelleter facility, accelerator facility, neutron radiation facility, nuclear radiology technique, my area, spectroscopic, positron, all material science and all material chemistry. Everything is open for research. Institute, kindly write to me, write to Central Director of UGC CSR, or write to Board of Research in Nuclear Sciences and do collaborate. And these are the links. You can take a photograph of this link, DAE, BRC, SBNI, BRNS, IONCAS, BREET. We do national workshops. We are most welcome to collaborate project under BRNS DAE, UGC DAE CSR, Mumbai Center, as well as direct collaborative work with the DAE. So thank you very much. I thank Honorable VC for giving me opportunity to deliver this talk, and Chairman Convener, particularly Dr. Jagatap. I thank you for your persuasion. You made it possible in a working day. I came from office to deliver the talk from home because Zoom app we don't use at office. And I for secretary and all organizing committee and staff members. Thank you all. This is my Gmail and this is my WhatsApp, very open. You write me, do disturb me, do a very good collaborations. Please utilize the national facility of BRCDA and for academic purpose, research purpose, and to visit us. For sure, I will be of help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for the short notice that we gave you to present a talk, and extremely sorry for frequent changes in the sessions. Thank you, sir. We will try to establish collaborations with PARC, and we would try to invite you to our Icfai University campus so that you physically present a talk and create awareness about nuclear sciences and various projects run by PARC. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for enhancing us with your knowledge and explaining us with the validation and analysis. Also explaining in the areas of application of NNAA, the NASE normalized EE pattern also enhanced us, and also the facilities and experiment of PIGE. Also telling us about the BARC Mumbai. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. As we are having physical audience more as compared to online. So soon we are going to start our technical session. Participants, be ready with your PPTs. Soon we'll start.
Okay, thank you. So, Saresh, shall I leave now? Thank you.
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Anyone available here?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Is it the links? Is it the same links for arts and humanities paper?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is the same link.
Okay, and it will start at 3, am I right?
Yeah.
And the
3
serial
start.
will be
By 3 will start, sir.
3, na?
Yes.
Okay. And the serial will be according to the serial number.
Your serial number, sir?
7.
May I know your name?
Dr. Deepak Dixit.
Okay. Seventh number.
7, na? 07.
Sir, be ready with your PPT.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Sure. Whenever you say, I will start.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Participants, if you are from commerce and management, kindly join the first link. This link is particularly for arts, humanities, education, law, science, technology. Participants are requested to be ready with your PPTs. Dennis, sir, throughout the session, you have to be here. Firstly, we are looking towards the offline session, then we'll move towards the online session. So throughout the session, you have to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is a technical session meant for arts, humanities, education, and law. Here we are going to have both online and offline presentations. We are going to first have offline presentation. We have very few candidates for offline presentations, followed by online presentations. I hope I'm audible to the online presenters. Once again, I'm repeating, this is a technical session for the online presentations of the participants. We have few candidates for the offline presentations. We will finish off the presentations for offline candidates first, followed by the online candidates. I request all the participants who have joined us in the online category to please keep their PPTs ready in the format that we shared earlier. For judging the session, we have our HOD from Arts and Humanities background, Professor Dr. Jaya Singh Madam, and the HOD of Law Department, Dr. Piali Chatterjee Madam. We heartily welcome you, Madam. After 5 minutes, we will start with the session. For your knowledge, first we will have the offline session. You will get the list of the participants, followed by online session. So we have the judges with us, Dr. Jaya Singh Madam and Dr. Piali Chatterjee Madam. We welcome you all on behalf of IU Raised 2023, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you all in the technical session of the International Conference on Academic Integration and Sustainable Development and Interdisciplinary Manifesto. I welcome all the participants for this technical session. Right now, we are having our session chair. Let me introduce them. We are having with us Dr. Jaya Singh ma'am from Coordinator Faculty. Dr. Pyali Chatterjee, Coordinator Faculty of Law, Icfai University. They both are the session chair. The next session chair we will have with us soon. So right now we'll start our presentation. Our first participant is Abhimanyu Gupta. Abhimanyu Gupta. Offline presentation. Title is Achieving Sustainable Development in Higher Education Institution, Learning from Indian Hires from Sage University, Indore.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon to all of you. Just give me a chance to represent my thoughts in this second international conference at Icfai University in Raipur. Just right now, this is Abhimanyu Gupta from Sage University Indore. Yeah. Just I'm working in the Sage University Indore MP as an assistant professor and doing my PhD also from DAVV Indore University in management. So today I have my research paper. This is basically on the title Achieving Sustainable Development in Higher Education Institution, Learning from Indian Higher Education Institutes. Just it's basically I prepared this research paper under the coordination of Dr. Vinay Gupta sir and Dr. Arpit Loya sir. Arpit Loya sir is my guide of PhD and Vinay Gupta sir is the HOD of my department in the Sage University. So before starting this thing, first of all, I want to say that UNI give us the 17 SDG principle to achieve for our sustainable development. So in this paper, this is the core center of my research paper, SDG 4, which is completely target to the higher education from the primary education. That was also PK sir, PK Bajpayee sir also explained my half model in this lecture. And in this paper, I use them as 4 reports, which are like All India Higher Education Survey Report 2020-21, SDI report, Ease of Doing Business report, because we are growing in the industrial part in our Indian country, India. We are increasing our rank. We are improving our high standard of the business in India. But we have the SDI rank is 141. This is a big drawback to analyze this factor, because if we are gaining the development in the industrial part of the Indian, then why we are behind in the other country in the SDI reports as compared to the other countries. And I also use the economic survey report of recently 2022 and 2023 to get some facts and finds for applying some research tools like the correlation part, aggregation part, etc. We see on the next part. So what is the sustainability? Sustainability is basically a certain rate of growth which can determine to the good development of a particular country, or we can say the particular area or particular segment also. In my so to attain in this by analyzing the previous study of the literature reviews, because I studied the 38 research papers relevant to my 10 dimensions of my model. So I found that they are the management problem, innovation management problem that was also described by the PK Bajpayee in their model, in his model in the so how we can say that in the report of age 2021, in India, there are 1,099 universities who are responded to the survey. But in 1,099 universities, we have only 71 medical, 188 technical, and 63 agriculture and allied universities. That this is reflecting the drawback of management for us to improve our agenda. Yes, we are growing. We are the highest youngest population in India. That's the report of before some days. We are the topmost country over the world in the population. So it's a big, we can say the demographic dividend for us. In the last, as per the Asia report, 43% of university and 61.4% of colleges are in rural areas. This is the second challenge. Why? Because we have less technical development environment in the rural areas of India. These 2 points can be analyzed, and just in my model, I try to improve these factors in my research paper. So please. And this paper is basically for the secondary data as also. Next. In the method and methodology, I use a research app by finding to read out the previous studies in which I traced the 38 research papers, but in the 38, I got only the 26 are relevant to my 10 dimensions of my model, which are the core relevant, and which are indicating the what's the problem happening in the India to targeting for development of India. And in the second line, to find the facts and figure, review of previous report and research
Sorry
paper
to
was there.
interrupt.
That's
It
also
was
I
already announced that you're having only 5 minutes to present your PT.
Sorry, sir?
5 minutes to present your PPT.
Okay. Just come on the model. These are the 5 pillars of my research paper, my research model: rural and backward development, implement all schemes across the India, to develop technology support across the India corner by corner. We cannot say only implement the proper implementation in the Delhi and you are targeting the all India. You need to convert. And the fourth pillar is the two proper implementation of NEP 2020. Because NEP 2020 is targeting to the higher education and the well education development of India as per the global level. And the fifth pillar of my model is to develop KVIC and DIC support across the India, because entrepreneurship can be occurred in India if they can support the village persons in properly manner. DIC and KVIC, that was the responding. Next. Next. These are my framework. This is my diagram that in the first layer is related to the resources which we have to indicating the dimension, what are the 10 dimensions of my sustainable development. And second, in the between layer between the dimensions and the resources are relating to the contribution of the particular dimensions of this. Yeah. Well, my suggestion is that we need to implement the all the schemes. This are related to the skill development. That was not happening implementation corner by corner of India. So we need to focus to implement the schemes that are relevant to the skill development to stop the migration from rural to urban. This is the main cause. Because if we are supporting to NGO in a well manner to implement of these all schemes by advertisement, by the awareness, by implying by camps and somewhere, whatever we can do with this, then we can develop the peoples at their place. We can raise the opportunity for them. Suppose that if I am a rural person, I am not developed. I do not know about the technical knowledge in the technical area. But
Sir, we are out of the time.
no. If a government organization or non-government organization organizing a camp to implement the skill development of India scheme like PMKVY and the Strive scheme and Sankalp scheme, that are relevant to develop the skills of a person. Then I think that if a person will develop by using the courses of this scheme, then he can or she can utilize the entrepreneurship opportunity in a wild manner. Because if we have the entrepreneurship, then we can raise the revenue, we can raise the opportunities for employment in the country or in the our area, so we can stop the migration in the rural area development of the. Thank you so much.
Second offline presenter is Abhishek Katakwar. Okay. His topic is Sustainable Development in World Made by Hand, a study from Government DB Girls PG College, Raipur.
I tried to make some conversation with Hindi in also. Okay. So मेरा टॉपिक जो है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट वर्ड मेड बाय हैंड, ये एक नॉवेल है, इंग्लिश लिटरेचर से मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ, तो मैं एक नॉवेल को ही रिप्रेजेंट करूंगा। तो इस नॉवेल में बेसिकली हुआ क्या है कि एक जगह है, न्यूयॉर्क सिटी से बिलोंग करता हुआ एक पार्ट लिया गया है, वहां पर बॉम्ब गिर जाते हैं। बॉम्ब गिरने की वजह से वहां का पूरा जो एनवायरनमेंट है वो पूरा खत्म हो जाता है। मतलब लोग जिंदा हैं जरूर, लेकिन वो उस ढंग से नहीं है जैसे आज टेक्निकल हम जो एरा जी रहे हैं वैसे हो। तो जितने भी टेक्नीशियंस हैं, जितने भी टेक्नोलॉजी है, अगर वो खत्म हो जा रहा है आज के केस में, तो क्या होगा कंडीशन। ये नॉवेल जो है उसी पर बेस है कि अगर हम लोग यहाँ पर टेक्नोलॉजी के ही बेस पर, तो ये माइक, ये जितने भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, सारी चीजें चल रही हैं। अगर यहीं पर बम गिर जाता है, इंसान बस बचा रहेगा। एक कंडीशन रखते हैं कि इंसान बच जाए, बाकी सारी चीजें खत्म हो जाएं। तब के केस में क्या होगा, कम से कम हम लोग को सर्टिफिकेट मिल भी जाएगा, लेकिन जो ऑनलाइन वाले हैं उनको पैसा भी रिटर्न नहीं होगा। तो एक केस अगर हम लोग ऐसे बनाते हैं, तब के केस में ये जो नॉवेल है उसको रिप्रेजेंट करता है। सर नेक्स्ट। जो नॉवेल मैं लिया हुआ हूँ उसके ऑथर हैं जेम्स कस्टनर। ये जो बुक पब्लिश हुआ था वो 2008 में पब्लिश हुआ है। रहने के लिए डिस्टोपियन है, साइंस फिक्शन से बिलोंग करता है। और जो मेजोरिटी है इस नॉवेल का वो है डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन बिहेवियर, सोशियो कल्चर इम्प्लीकेशंस। ये दो पॉइंट जो है वो मेजर पॉइंट है इस नॉवेल में। और यहीं पर ही सर जो मैंने मेथड यूज किया हुआ है वो, मैम क्योंकि लिटरेचर से मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ, तो डिस्क्रिप्टिव या नरेटिव ये हम लोग यूज करते हैं नरेटिव स्टडी के लिए। सर नेक्स्ट। जो जैसे कि स्टोरी जो बता रहा था कि इसमें एक जो ऑथर है, इसमें के जो मेन कैरेक्टर है वो है रॉबर्ट अर्ल। इनके घर के आसपास इनके जो शहर है उनमें पर ही बम गिरा हुआ था। तो जो पूरा जो इनका एरिया है रहने का, वो अब बन गया है जंगल वाला एरिया, क्योंकि वहां पर अब रह नहीं सकते थे, तो वो लोग जंगल चले जाते हैं। जंगल जाने के बाद उनका क्या होता है कि जो हम लोग का आज अगर सोसाइटी को हम लोग बोलते हैं कि 1950 से पहले अगर जिस ढंग से रह रहे होंगे, वो कंडीशन आज बन गया। मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी के नाम पे जीरो, हमारे पास कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी ना हो, सिर्फ फिर से वही जो हम लोग पुराने जो जी रहे थे कभी, जो हमारे दादा या उनके पिताजी जिस ढंग से जिए हुए होंगे, आज आपको जीने के लिए बोल दिया जाए तो कैसे जियोगे। तो ठीक वही शुरुआत होता है इसी नॉवल में। ये लोग उसी जो एक नेचुरल जो पर्सपेक्टिव होता है वहां से जीने के लिए शुरू करते हैं। जो भी नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं उनका यूज करना शुरू होता है। सर जो मेन एनालिसिस है मैम वो इस पार्ट में है कि यहाँ पर जितने भी हैं, ये जो बुक का जो एनालिसिस करके रखा हुआ था कि अगर हमारे पास आज टेक्नोलॉजी अगर खत्म हो जाता है तो हम सभी के सभी फिर से हम उसी एरा में चले जाएंगे जो आज से 50 साल पहले थे। एक चीज। दूसरी बात यहाँ पर यही होगी कि हमें सभी को उस चीज की समझ आएगी कि ये जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं वो कितना ज्यादा जरूरी है आज के पर्सपेक्टिव में। इसलिए ही ये जो हम लोग सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की जो बातें करते रहते हैं, तो उसको बचाना कितना जरूरी है। अगर आज उसी को खत्म कर रहे हैं हम, जानबूझ के या अनजाने में, अगर हम लोग पेड़ की कटाई भी कर रहे हैं, तो आगे आने वाले भविष्य के लिए तो हम तो बर्बाद ही कर रहे हैं। वो बम गिरे या हम लोग काटें, बात तो एक ही है ना। तो जी मैम, सर सर मैम, ये जो डायरेक्टली एम्फेसाइज यही करता है कि अगर हम लोग कहीं पर भी सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की बात जब भी करेंगे, तो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज का प्रोटेक्शन, उसका उतना ही यूज जितना हमें जरूरत है। जैसे कि फर्स्ट सेशन में जो हमारा जो फर्स्ट सेशन जो निकला हुआ है वो पूरा इसी पर ही बेस था मेरे लिए भी। तो जितना यूज कर सकते हैं, जितने कम में, जो महात्मा गांधी ने कहा हुआ है उसी पर ही ये बेस रहेगा कि आप जो भी नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज यूज कर रहे हो कम से कम इस्तेमाल कीजिए और फ्यूचर के लिए प्रोटेक्ट करके रखिए। थैंक यू।
Next is Drakshika Chaudhary. Is she present?
Ma'am,
Sorry.
ma'am, I was supposed to present in the online mode.
For the list we are having with Darshika Chaudhary.
Yes, ma'am, Darshika Chaudhary.
Okay, you're online.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we are firstly moving towards the offline, then we'll move towards the online.
Sure, ma'am.
Prerna Sahu. Prerna Sahu. Neha Kumari. Rajni Pinjani, ma'am. Her topic is synchronization of left and right brain through super brain asana from Sri Rama Trust Yoga Prana Vidya Ashram. You're having 5 minutes to present your PPT. We are having a time foundation, so present your PPT within 5 minutes.
Could I? Okay. So, respected dignitaries and all the present members and students, good afternoon. So, my topic is synchronization of left and right brain. Okay. Synchronization of left and right brain through superbrain asana. So, I'll go further to it. So, we may all be knowing that our brain has two parts, right and left and right hemispheres we call, and both has different attributes. Like the left brain has different attributes than the right one. The left has the analytical, logical, calculation, maths type, and the right one is imagination and artistic things, and intuitions. So one can develop, and we can develop human resources if both the brains are properly balanced and developed. By developing only one, we cannot progress, we cannot sustain growth by the as for the proper. Yeah. Hello. Okay. So our left and right brain, when both the brains are properly developed and synchronized, balanced, and developed, then only we can develop our human resources. So this is very necessary, as we are seeing that left and right both have the different attributes. Okay, please next. So what is the super brain asana? What is the technique which I am going to discuss about for the synchronization of both the brains? Please tap. You have to tap. Yeah. Okay. This is a asana used in ancient India, China, and Japan. This is also called the Ganesh asana. It is an exercise to asana to energize and recharge the brain. Please enter. Yeah. So why we are using this technique, or why we need this technique? Because many of us are lacking concentration, focus, and ADD. We are having ADD, attention deficit disorder. This is very common now, not only in children, as well as on the uh, old people and the young ones. So this problem creates not only physical problem, but also relationship problem also, and it affects our productivity and also impulse control. It affects our emotions also. Yeah. Okay. So our body is like a electric equipment. We need a proper connection. Based on that, this exercise or this asana works, this technique works to synchronize and balance both the brains. Next, please. As we all know that hand and our foot is reflexology of whole body. Like in hands, we have certain points. Pressing on them, we can develop, we can get rid of many pain. And on the foot also, we have certain points. So our hand reflects complete body, and likewise, our foot also reflect the complete body. मैं हिंदी में बोलूं क्या? जैसे हमारा हाथ है वो पूरे एक हमारे शरीर को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, पैर का तलवा भी पूरे शरीर को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. उसमें जो सर्टेन पॉइंट्स होते हैं उसको प्रेस करने से हमारी बहुत सारी बीमारियों का इलाज होता है, ये हम सब जानते हैं. तो इसी तरह से जो हमारा कान होता है वो भी पूरी बॉडी को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. इसके संदर्भ में डॉक्टर पॉल नोजियर ने 20 इयर्स तक रिसर्च किया, और ये कान जो है वो फीटस को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. फीटस यानी कि हमारे पेट में जो बच्चा है, तो ये सिर का जो निचला भाग है वो कान के निचले भाग को रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है. ये पूरा कान जो है ये पूरे फीटस को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. तो जब हम कान के निचले हिस्से को प्रेस करते हैं तो क्या होता है कि हमारा ब्रेन एक्टिवेट होता है, क्योंकि वहीं पर हमारा ब्रेन है, ये आप देख पा रहे हैं. ओके. और हम ये भी जानते हैं कि हमारा जो लेफ्ट ब्रेन होता है हमारी राइट बॉडी को कंट्रोल करता है, और राइट ब्रेन जो होता है वो हमारी लेफ्ट बॉडी को कंट्रोल करता है. तो ये जो टेक्निक हम बता रहे हैं ये आपके फिजिकल एज वेल एज मेंटल इमोशनल डेवलपमेंट के लिए बहुत ही आवश्यक है. प्लीज. या सो ईयरलोब्स, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया, तो ये जो एक्सरसाइज है इट्स वेरी small exercise, very powerful. We have research on it. You can visit research for the Google. We have very less time on JSS Dental College, Mysore. This practice was adopted for 90 days, and they have saw the results in academic results tremendously, and also their behavior also changed. Okay, so this is the method we have to do. We have to face east above 50 years. They have to face north, and we have to hold our hand like this. Okay, precautions are very simple. In menstrual cycles, we do not need to do it, and we before and after that. And anybody has very severe physical problem, they also have to avoid. Well, we also have to avoid excessive smoking and all these things. Okay, so benefits of this technique. Why I am here to टेल अबाउट दिस टेक्निक. मैं क्यों यहाँ पर हूँ? क्योंकि ये टेक्निक जो है इससे आपका ब्रेन जो है वो सिंक्रोनाइज होगा, इससे आपकी अल्फा वेव्स बढ़ेंगी, जिससे कि आपके में कामनेस आएगी, आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ेगा, फोकस बढ़ेगा. तो आप खुद समझ सकते हैं कि 1 घंटे में जो आप बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं तो क्या आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी 1 घंटे की है? यदि 1 घंटे में हम 1 घंटे का काम करेंगे तो हमारे ऑफिस आवर्स जो है वो बहुत कम हो जाएंगे. हम सभी जानते हैं हम बैठते जाते हैं, करते कम है. ओके. और चूंकि इस एक्सरसाइज से क्या होता है कि हमारा एनर्जी का जो सर्कुलेशन है नीचे और ऊपर के चक्रास या नीचे और ऊपर के एनर्जी सेंटर्स में बराबर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है. इसलिए बहुत सारे बच्चे जो इधर उधर भटकते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर एज पे, उनको हम सही दिशा दे सकते हैं. क्योंकि इससे क्या होता है कि नीचे की एनर्जी ऊपर के चक्रास में जाती है, हमारा ब्रेन जो है वो डेवलप होता है. तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ हम कुछ बच्चे जो है मैथ्स और साइंस को प्रैक्टिस ना करके इंट्यूशंस होंगे. जब इंट्यूशंस होंगे तभी बल्ब फैन या ऐसी कोई चीजों का इन्वेंशन हो सकता है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, दिस हेल्प अस इन साइकोलॉजिकल थिंग्स ऑल्सो. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर पेशेंट हियरिंग. Yeah. Because for sustainable development, we need human resources. Ma'am, this is the main problem. If we have natural resources, science, technology, but if we don't have the human resources, at present, we are seeing that presently what we all are doing, why we are having less of memory, lack of concentration, because we are all on the more on the gadgets and more on the other things. When we do this thing, it not only develop us physically, because in the schools when we got it done, many children who have got fainted in the school during their assembly time, they got improved because it improves our physical strength also, and memory power and concentration. And apart from that, what I told you, because in a particular age when our lower energy centers are more active, like our sex chakra we call is more active, we need to channelize those energy to our upper chakras. So our brain will develop, and definitely we will have a more developed human resources. Likewise, that's why I'm telling about the sustainable growth. But without human resources, we can't have the sustainable growth. And we can't have the growth only and only with the one brain, left or right. You might have noticed that few children only like to draw. They don't want to write, they don't want to do maths, and they don't want to do learn physics. We need both the things. And not only calculation and mathematics will come out with the magical things. We need intuitions also.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So next candidate is Dileshwari Sahu. I would request all the offline candidates to please share your PPT with the technical committee. During her presentation, please share your PPT with the technical committee. The next candidate is Dileshwari Sahu. I would request all the candidates to please keep care of the 5 minutes time limitation. I would request the session chairs also to please keep this as one of the parameters. They should not exceed beyond 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir. My name is Dileshwari Sahu, Sudharthi, Shri Rawatpura Sarkari University. My topic is प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम का गृहिणियों के जीवन संतुष्टि स्तर पर पड़ने वाले प्रभावों का अध्ययन. प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम, जैसे योग में कहा जाता है, योग में जैसे सूर्य नमस्कार है, आसन, प्राणायाम, बहुत सारी उसके अंग बताए गए हैं. महर्षि पतंजलि जैसे अष्टांग योग बताया गया है, घीरण संहिता उस योग के ग्रंथ है जिसमें सप्तांग योग बताए गए हैं. वैसे ही प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम पंडित श्री राम शर्मा आचार्य जी द्वारा दिया हुआ एक अभ्यास है. नेक्स्ट कर दीजिए. प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम जो है पंडित श्री राम शर्मा आचार्य जी द्वारा दिया गया विशेष प्रकार के 16 आसनों का समूह है. जैसे सूर्य नमस्कार में 12 स्टेप होता है, वैसे ही प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम में 16 स्टेप है, और इन 16 स्टेप में ही संपूर्ण योग का अभ्यास हो जाता है, संपूर्ण योग आसन का अभ्यास हो जाता है. जैसे हम कुछ आसन की सीरीज देते हैं या जब उनको अभ्यास करवाते हैं तो कुछ बैठने वाले आसन, कुछ खड़े होकर करने वाले आसन, कुछ लेटने वाले आसन, कुछ फॉरवर्ड बेंडिंग, कुछ बैक बेंडिंग वाले आसन का अभ्यास करवाते हैं, तो वो पैकेज जो है कंप्लीट होता है. वैसे ही इस प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम में सभी प्रकार के आसनों का समूह बताया गया है, और इस आसन को जब हम श्वास प्रश्वास की गति के साथ करते हैं तो बहुत ही ज्यादा बेनिफिट होता है, हमारे लिए बहुत ही लाभदायक होता है. और इस अभ्यास को जो है बच्चे, बूढ़े, मीन्स जैसे वृद्धावस्था में है तो वो भी कर सकते हैं, छोटे बच्चे भी कर सकते हैं. किसी के लिए ऐसा कोई प्रिकॉशंस नहीं है कि ये नहीं कर सकते. कुछ है आगे बताएंगे, पर ऐसा नहीं है कि इसको ये नहीं कर सकते, छोटे बच्चे नहीं कर सकते तो बुजुर्ग नहीं कर सकते या महिलाएं नहीं कर सकते. ऐसा नहीं है. इस अभ्यास को सभी लोग आसानी से कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट कर दीजिए सर. चरों का विवरण में बताया गया है. जो इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है वो है प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम, और डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल है वो है लाइफ सेटिस्फेक्शन, जीवन संतुष्टि. प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल के बारे में बताना चाहूंगी. प्रज्ञा अर्थात बुद्धि. प्रज्ञा अर्थात बुद्धि. कैसी बुद्धि? उत्कृष्टतम बुद्धि. बुद्धि के उच्च अवस्थाओं को ही प्रज्ञा कहा जाता है. प्रज्ञावान लभते ज्ञानम कहते हैं। तो प्रज्ञा अर्थात उत्कृष्टतम, बुद्धि की उत्कृष्ट अवस्था, जो सर्वसाधारण या साधारण मनुष्य से थोड़ा सा हटके होते हैं, उनसे ऊपर सोचने वाले होते हैं, उच्च सोच रखने वाले व्यक्ति जो है प्रज्ञा बुद्धि कहलाते हैं। हम नॉर्मल सामान्य मनुष्य की जो सोच रहती है वो शरीरगत सुविधाओं में तक ही सीमित रह जाते हैं, पर जो प्रज्ञा बुद्धि वाले मनुष्य होते हैं, प्रज्ञावान जो होते हैं, उनका जो सोचने का तरीका होता है, उनकी जो जीवन जीने की कला होती है, वो थोड़ा सा हट करके होता है, ऊंचा सोचने वाले होते हैं। उनके लिए सर्वसाधारण से थोड़ा ऊपर हो जाते हैं, तो उनका रहता है कि सभी की कल्याण में ही हमारा कल्याण है। मीन्स वो सबके लिए सोचते हैं, परमार्थ के लिए सोचते हैं, स्वार्थ को छोड़ करके। प्रज्ञा योग में 16 स्टेप बताई गई है। पहले ताड़ासन, पादहस्तासन, वज्रासन, उष्ट्रासन, योग मुद्रा, अर्ध ताड़ासन, शशांकासन, भुजंगासन, तिर्यक भुजंग बाएं, तिर्यक भुजंग दाएं, शशांकासन, अर्ध ताड़ासन। इस प्रकार से ये आसन की स्टेप है, और इसको जब हम गायत्री महामंत्र के साथ, गायत्री मंत्र के अक्षरों के साथ जोड़ करके करते हैं, तो इसका बेनिफिट और ही ज्यादा लाभदायक हो जाता है। क्यों? क्योंकि जो कोई भी मंत्र होता है, अभी तक आपने देखा होगा कि कोई भी मंत्र हिंदी में नहीं होता है। अभी तक आप कोई भी मंत्र का उच्चारण करते होंगे तो सभी मंत्र संस्कृत में होता है, और जब हम संस्कृत का उच्चारण करते हैं तो हमारी जो जीभ होती है, टंग होती है, वो हमारे तालू से टकराते हैं। और योगाभ्यास में ही एक मुद्रा आती है, खेचरी मुद्रा, जिसमें हमारी जीभ जो है तालू से टकराता है, और उसका जो बेनिफिट्स बताया गया है योगियों के द्वारा, उनका कहना है कि जब तालू से टकराता है तो चक्रास के भी मैडम बता रही थी, तो एक सहस्त्रार चक्र होता है। सहस्त्रार चक्र से जब कनेक्ट होता है, जब नर्व्स जो है, फाइबर्स जो है कनेक्ट होता है, तो हमारी जो, हमको कहा जाता है कि उससे अमृत का पान होता है। नेक्स्ट कर दीजिए जी, नेक्स्ट कर दीजिए सर। प्रज्ञा योग व्यायाम के लाभ बताए गए हैं। तनाव, चिंता, मानसिक समस्याओं को दूर करता है, भारीपन जैसी समस्याओं को दूर करता है, डायबिटीज जैसी समस्याओं को दूर करता है, उच्च रक्तचाप, धमनी से रिलेटेड समस्याओं को दूर करता है। और इसके लिए जो सावधानियां बताई गई हैं, गर्भवती महिलाओं को बहुत सावधानी पूर्वक करना होता है, हार्निया इत्यादि की प्रॉब्लम में नहीं करना है, और किसी प्रकार की यदि ऑपरेशन हुआ है तो उस समय तुरंत रिसेंटली में नहीं करना चाहिए। जी मैम। सतत विकास से मैम हमको थोड़ा सा टाइम निकालना पड़ेगा इसके लिए, और कंटिन्यूटी में हमको बना करके रखना पड़ेगा, और डेली इसका हम चाहे। जी मैम। जी मैम। जी ओके। सतत विकास के लिए मैम हमेशा इस अभ्यास तो जरूरी है मैम, यदि हम इसका अभ्यास कंटिन्यू। जी ओके मैम, यदि इसको हम अपने लाइफ में अपना लेते हैं, योग अभ्यास को हो। ओके, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
Next candidate is Dr. Meena Pinjani. Candidates, please keep care of the 5 minutes time limitations, and all the offline candidates, please share your PPT with the technical committee. Please utilize the time in sharing your PPTs with the technical committee. Any other offline candidates left? What's your name? Next is yours. Okay, okay.
Good afternoon. Honorable Chairperson and organizers and respected participants. I am presenting here Yoga Prana Vidya System, a tool for physical and mental well-being of students with special reference to UGC guidelines for SSC. SSC is Student Service Center. Just 12th अप्रैल को UGC ने गाइडलाइन दिया है कि हर हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन में ये होना चाहिए जो इनके फिजिकल, मेंटल, इमोशनल वेलबींग के लिए है। सो हेल्थ इज नॉट ओनली कि जो हमारी फिजिकल हेल्थ है, जो शरीर है उसमें सब ठीक ठाक है, दैट इज नॉट हेल्थ। हम इमोशनली कैसे हैं, साइकोलॉजिकली हम कैसे हैं, और मेंटल हमारा स्टेटस क्या है, ऑल दी थिंग्स आर पार्ट ऑफ हेल्थ। सो नेक्स्ट प्लीज। सी हम देखते हैं व्हाई वी नीड एसएससी। अभी जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं हम देख रहे हैं कि वैरायटी ऑफ स्ट्रेस है और वैरायटी ऑफ चैलेंजेस हैं, अनसर्टेनिटीज भी बहुत है। दूसरा उसके अलावा पीयर प्रेशर भी रहती है, एक्सपेक्टेशंस भी रहती है अपने आप से, फैमिली एक्सपेक्टेशन रहती है, एंजाइटी, स्ट्रेस, डिप्रेशन एक कॉमन चीज हो गई है स्टूडेंट्स में, जो पहले के जमाने में कभी ऐसा बच्चों के लिए नहीं सोचा जाता था, लेकिन अब स्टूडेंट्स के साथ ये एंजाइटी, स्ट्रेस, डिप्रेशन एंड सुसाइडल टेंडेंसी। ये जो एसएससी का ऑर्डर आया है यूजीसी का, इसके पीछे क्या था कि जो आईआईटीज में और एमबीए इंस्टीट्यूशन जो थे, मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन में जो सुसाइडल रेट्स बढ़ रहा था, दैट्स व्हाई यूजीसी टेक अ डिसीजन फॉर एस्टैब्लिशिंग एसएससी। सो द योग प्राण विद्या सिस्टम, नेक्स्ट प्लीज, इज अ टूल। ये एसएससी में कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है, स्टूडेंट सर्विस सेंटर जिसमें उनकी इमोशनल, मेंटल हेल्थ और फिजिकल हेल्थ को देखना है, उससे रिलेटेड जैसे यूजीसी ने कहा है कि उनको एम्स से और नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ कॉर्पोरेशन जो है उनसे हेल्प लेनी, और दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूशन से भी। सो उसके उसी क्रम में ये एक सिस्टम है योग प्राण विद्या, जिसमें ये इंटीग्रेटेड होलिस्टिक सिस्टम है। इसमें फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज, सुपर ब्रेन, ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज, मेडिटेशन, फॉरगिवनेस साधना, नेगेटिव थॉट्स एंड इमोशंस को कैसे इरेज करना है, एंड नो टच नो ड्रग थेरेपी हीलिंग। ये जो सारी टेक्निक्स है इन सब पे रिसर्च पब्लिश है, 77 रिसर्च पब्लिश्ड है नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल जर्नल्स में। और ये जो प्रैक्टिसेस है, ये प्रैक्टिसेस स्कूल, कॉलेजेस, जेल और कॉर्पोरेट और बहुत सारे सोशल ग्रुप्स में हुई है, जो मैं आगे आपको बताने जा रही हूँ कि कौन कौन सी प्रैक्टिसेस हो सकती है। एज वी डिस्कस्ड ऑलरेडी, नेक्स्ट प्लीज, सुपर ब्रेन का डिस्कशन हो चुका है, जो फोकस था पूरा ब्रेन, एंड दिस अदर प्रैक्टिस इज फॉरगिवनेस साधना। बोलना और सुनना, किताबों में पढ़ना और यूट्यूब में देखना, क्षमा करना, माफ करना जितना आसान है, पर ये एक्शन बेस्ड है कि कैसे माफ करना है। सो देयर आर 3 स्टेप्स: फॉरगिव योरसेल्फ, आस्क फॉर फॉरगिवनेस एंड फॉरगिव अदर्स। दूसरों को माफ कीजिए, माफी मांगिए, और अपने आप को। जब हम अपने आप को माफ करना सीखते हैं तो ये सुसाइडल टेंडेंसीज और गिल्ट जो है आज के युवा में जो सबसे बड़ी समस्या है, उससे हम बाहर आ सकते हैं। इमोशनल गार्बेज जो है हमारे अंदर, फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, लोगों को लेकर जो चिड़चिड़ाहट होती है, एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं, स्ट्रेस रहता है और एंजाइटी रहती है, वो सारी चीजें भी हेल्प करती हैं इससे निकलने में। हम लोगों को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते, हमको सब कुछ अपने हिसाब से चाहिए, तो फॉरगिवनेस वहां पर भी हेल्प करती है। ये सारी चीजें हमारे परफॉर्मेंस को भी बेटर करती है और हार्मोनाइज करती है कॉन्फ्लिक्ट फैक्टर को। व्हेन वी डू डीप ब्रीद ऑन रिदम, रिदम पे जब हम ब्रीथ करते हैं तो सबसे पहले अगर हमारी सांस सही है तो हमारा मन और मस्तिष्क सही है। सो रेगुलेट ब्रीथ, रेगुलेट माइंड। जैसे ही माइंड रेगुलेट होगा तो हमारी थिंकिंग फैकल्टी भी बेटर होगी, हमारे निर्णय भी सही होंगे, हमारे अंदर स्थिरता भी आती है अगर हमारी सांस सही होती है। स्पेशली जब वो सांस रिदम पे होती है, रिदम पे होती है तो उससे कामनेस भी आती है और एंजाइटी और हरीडनेस जो है वो भी रिड्यूस होती है। सिंपल सी 4 से 5 मिनट की प्रैक्टिस है ये। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। वन प्लैनेटरी पीस मेडिटेशन, 10 to 15 मिनट का ये मेडिटेशन जो है, ये बहुत सारे स्कूल्स, कॉर्पोरेट्स, बहुत जगह हुआ है। एनवायरमेंट की एनर्जी भी चेंज करता है और हमारे बिहेवियर में, हमारी थिंकिंग में, साइकोलॉजिकल पॉल्यूशन जो है, एनवायरमेंट में जो पॉल्यूशन है उसके अलावा साइकोलॉजिकल पॉल्यूशन है उसमें भी हेल्प करता है। इमोशंस को इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप में भी हेल्प करता है। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। देन वन नो टच नो ड्रग थेरेपी हीलिंग। ये जो हीलिंग है ये फिजिकल और साइकोलॉजिकल हर एलिमेंट पे काम करती है। एज वी ऑल नो, जो हमारा प्राणमय कोश है जिसे हम ऊर्जा शरीर या ऑरा कहते हैं, ये हमारे फिजिकल बॉडी से भी कनेक्टेड है एंड इमोशनल और मेंटल बॉडीज हर बॉडीज से कनेक्टेड है। या एंड 11 चक्रास जो कि फिजिकल और साइकोलॉजिकल फंक्शन है। देन द लास्ट, सो अगर हम हीलर्स डेवलप करते हैं, क्योंकि मेंटल हेल्थ प्रैक्टिशनर्स की कमी है हमारे देश में, साइकाट्रिस्ट की भी कमी है, तो ये एक ऑप्शन है। अगर हम हीलर डेवलप करते हैं तो हम जो समस्या मैंने शुरू में बताई छात्रों के साथ हो रही है या मानवता के साथ ये समस्या है, उस समस्या से बाहर आ सकते हैं। और बहुत सिंपल है, अगर हम लेवल 3 तक के हीलर डेवलप कर सकते हैं, तो वो एंजाइटी, स्ट्रेस, इन सब में कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं और लोगों की भी हेल्प कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज द कोट ऑफ दलाई लामा, एज आई ऑलवेज आई लाइक, दैट्स व्हाई आई शेयर्ड. थैंक यू. The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kinds. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next candidate is Parul Pandey. Any questions from the judges, from the session chairs or audience? Okay, we will proceed. The next candidate is Parul Pandey. Her topic of presentation is the pursuit of individuality in flora. Next candidate is Parul Pandey.
My topic is Pursuit of Individuality in Flora Nwapa's Ifuru. So my topic doesn't directly state sustainable development, but when we talk about sustainable development and when you think about it literally, you will get to know that it is not just a physical aspect. It is more of a mental aspect, mental concept, because without emotional balance, you cannot achieve anything. And that is why the literature still exists. So looking at the introduction part, Flora Nwapa is a very popular feminist writer from Africa who has written this novel Ifuru in 1966, and it has given a strong impact on the society when it comes to the term of gender studies. It talks about how women in Africa are made to pleasurize just men, and their identity is no more than that, and how their identity is associated with just motherhood and nothing else. And that is where the problem starts. So this is a qualitative analysis, as most of the literary studies do. And here it shows the significance of women, not just as passive breeders, but also as economic actors, creative forces behind new ideas, and allies in the fight against injustice. So if we talk about status of women in Africa, we'll get to know that the status of women is very lower, at a very lower strata. And there are certain examples in the novel. One example which is very painful is Ifuru's daughter, the central character's daughter, is dead, and somebody weeping at the funeral saying that this line has been quoted: "A girl is something, though we would have preferred a boy." So she starts weeping, not because the daughter is dead, because she feels that it is ill woman for Ifuru that she doesn't have a son. So she starts weeping for that, not because her daughter is dead. The patriarchal tendency, if we talk about, castration is a very painful process, and one must not go under it scientifically. But men, for the pleasure of men, the women undergo that, and it is given a metaphor having a bath. Bath means purity. So here, purity is when a woman is appealing to the men's eyes. Only then she is pure. Then bride price is a very popular problem there in Africa. Like, it is similar to the dowry, and it has its repercussion like that only. There, a father is ready to marry the daughter to anybody who is ready to give some amount of money. And that is where the problem starts, because patriarchy is so strong that once the father give the daughter to anybody, any man, then she becomes the property to that man, and her wishes go completely in vain. So next. Then there is a problem of rape. Of course, wherever the patriarchy is high, rape is a very big problem. And in African society, it is also, again, a very big problem where men rape girls, and then there is a conclusion, not so happy conclusion, that girls are unworthy of getting education. So that is a very big problem. Then there is very important concept, that is yearning for selfhood. And here where the sustainable development thing starts. we find that Ifuru is not a woman who is ready to admit to the societal norms, the deeply enrooted culture and tradition, but she starts finding for herself. And where there I find a strong trait of sustainable development, because when you are finding yourself, you are ready to contribute to the society. So Nvabata is her maid and she makes fun of Wosu. There are many strong women who gives a dialogue, who deliver a dialogue that shows that how women are strongly finding themselves in the society. She says, "It was then that my lord and master came out with his knife. 'Kill me,' I said to him. 'I am the thief.' He fooled around and went and sat down outside the gate. That's the man who is my husband. Women are nothing. He, my husband, was asleep when thieves came to the house, but I'm only a woman. What can a woman do?" So actually, she saves her house from thieves, but she says what a woman can do sarcastically. So Ifuru is non-conformist from beginning. She is not ready to conform to everything that is happening around her. She marries Eduzua out of her own wish. She does a love marriage and she pays bride price for that, because she is not ready that if she had married somebody out of her wish, then that man should pay the price. So she goes against Edizua, her husband, and passionately does trading and pays her bride price. She stands strong against Edizua's uncle contentation that a woman cannot make any decision and influence action by men, even if those men were her sons. She says that anybody can take decision. And this last is Uhamiri is a lake, which is very important in the novel, where the women goes to pray so that they can get a son. But it is said that this Uhamiri lake never gives a woman a son, but still Ufuru goes to that lake because she believes that it is her identity that is more important than giving birth to a son, just a son who even may die before herself. So she wanted to contribute to the society. See, she believed in her identity first. So we find that a rebellious women coming out from African society, which is deeply enrooted with traditions and cultures, and the individuality, the continuous search for individuality that every section of the society is doing. So this shows the wave of feminism, and of course, again, the gender studies, which is an important part of the emerging trend in sustainable development. Thank you.
Your presentation clearly says that you are a feminist supporter, and the story which you have narrated here, that is also related to feminism. Yes. Okay, but means that this particular presentation is related to sustainable development, because feminism, feminist supporter, feminist issue, custom, even custom, that's all something different, and sustainable development is different.
The main concept of feminism when it came. So now it has become a very vague term. That's why we say gender studies. So gender studies, the term has somehow now not that vague, that feminism has become because of the social impact, social media's impact. And so I related to the sustainable development because I strongly believe that the contribution of women in the society is very important. You cannot have a marginalized section in the society and talk about a very incredible future that is going to be very strong physically, economically, because now women are also contributing economically. So they are contributing economically, and they are somehow suffering through emotional damage that every woman from every section of the world goes. So offering sustainable development, and that's how literature actually basically was never just about conserving resources.
so that the upcoming generation is going to use it. This is very definition that we just learn to get 2 marks in the exams. But when we talk about the interior things, we need to bring equality. It's not just about feminism, it's about equality for third gender, equality for everyone. Like even if a man is undergoing gender discrimination, then also for bringing sustainable development in the upcoming future, he also need to be the same path. You cannot have different path and say that tomorrow we're going to have a incredible future. That's not possible because it starts with brain. Like charity begins at home, things begin from mind. So if we don't have gender neutral, gender equal society, we cannot say that we are going to have sustainable development, because now women also have their part. Like, how can you say that you are going to run a home and you are not asking mother what to do? So you can, then you cannot bring sustainable development. Mummy is going to bring 500 rupees when it is the difficult times. That is sustainable development. If we talk about in very normal terms, the mother, she keeps 500 rupees safe for the future times, future difficult times. So when she'll bring out that money that you can use it, that is sustainable development. When our future generation are going to they solve the problem of sustainable development, maybe of resources that are physical aspect, they will at least at a par for gender equality, that this problem does not need to be solved. Every problem contributes to psychological damage. Every problem that is in the society, we cannot happily listen about rape problems, dowry problems, and think, okay, this was the news. Now we should concentrate on sustainable development. So this cannot happen in my terms.
Nice presentation, nice explanation. Next one is Abhijit Chanda. I think he is online. Abhijit Chanda. Anushka Sharma. Okay. Session chair is requested to please tell the name Anushka Sharma. Anushka Sharma. Topic is the role of artificial intelligence in improving student engagement in classroom teaching, a systematic review.
The mental use of this descriptive correlation with a type of population that study location was in Naivasha subcounty Nakuru.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Anushka Sharma. I am a MBA student from OP Jindal University. And my topic is the role of artificial intelligence in improving student engagement in classroom teaching, a systematic review. So next. This is the index of my
Sorry to
presentation.
interrupt. Kindly complete your presentation within 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am, sure. This is the index of my presentation. So next. So introduction, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the stimulation of human intelligence. It is processed by technology, particularly computer system. And in today's generation, we are moving toward the usage of artificial intelligence more in engaging a student in the classroom. AI tutoring system provides personalized guidance, assistance, and feedback. But see, every perspective has two sides, like a coin. If we will completely rely on artificial intelligence, maybe the students' critical thinking power may decrease. So we are going to talk about that also next. The purpose statement of my presentation. AI has been adopted in classroom, but there are very few studies which talks about artificial intelligence and student engagement both. So we have tried to answer these questions in improving student engagement, both in positive and negative term. The objective of my paper was to identify the different AI-powered technologies, to analyze the effectiveness of AI in enhancing student engagement, to identify the factors that influence the effectiveness of AI, and to suggest recommendations for the integration of AI in classroom teaching. So next. So the methodology, I have used Prisma principle, and I have used databases from Scopus, Google Scholar, and Science Direct. There were total 629 papers. In that, we have used 32 papers, 32 articles were there, and that was analyzed. So next. This is the number of paper search which I have conducted. So next. This is my Prisma framework, the flow diagram. So next. Next. These are the papers. Their methods, findings, and the paper types. So next. So next. 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 So the literature review. So Alexander Estin, a psychologist, he developed the theory of yes, ma'am. So these were some examples of the technologies which I have read in few papers that are being used now. Newton, Kahoot, and Slido. So Newton is a personalized learning platform which provides a customized learning programs for the students. And Kahoot is a game-based learning platform that uses artificial intelligence to produce fascinating games and quizzes for students so that they can engage more in studying. Slido is a student engagement platform which collects the feedback of the student in the classroom learning. So next. These are the ways how artificial intelligence is being utilized in student engagement and enhancement. So we are combining conventional learning with AI technologies to get more from the classroom teaching. And AI can be used to teach students to think outside of the box. Obviously, it provides a simulation platform for the students so that they can think more and they can be more creative. And validating AI generated responses helps students to build critical thinking, which is from my perspective very important these days. So next. These are the factors influencing the AI boosting in student engagement, like the quality of AI powered technologies, which kind of technologies you are using for your students, the applications of AI, and the manner in which AI is utilized by the teacher in the classroom, the role of the teacher, how good and effective a teacher's teaching is. Obviously, without a teacher, the book is also not that effective. So this is so AI intelligence, how it can be effective. And the age of the student, like there must be a certain age in which you will introduce AI to the students. Prior technological experience of the student, you cannot introduce AI to a rural student. They must be knowing something about technology. You can just not introduce them to AI. The motivation of the student, how much they are motivated to learn. So next. These are some recommendation to improve student engagement through AI. Personalized learning by using AI. You can use personalized platform for your student as per their needs. And you can use AI to adjust their learning. You can have feedback from your students, how effective your AI technologies are. You can create a interactive learning experience with AI. And you can use okay. Ma'am, this is the conclusion. Obviously, the privacy breach, because AI is a platform.
Time over. Time over.
Have any questions? Thank
You. Nice presentation. Next one is Abhijit Chanda. Topic is comparative study on human law rights. Abhijit Chanda. Online.
What's your name? Chi. Session chairs, please update the name. Prachi. Next candidate is offline. Prachi. Next will be, madam, your name? Bhavna. Next candidate will be Bhavna. You have shared your PPT? Okay, please keep care of the 5 minutes time limitation. We have to start with the online presentations as well.
Please take care of the time. 5 minutes only you're having to present.
Good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am Prachi Agrawal, a student of OP Jindal University. Good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am Prachi Agrawal, a student of OP Jindal University. Thank you, member of the conference, for giving me the opportunity to present my topic, Artificial Intelligence and Teaching Learning Experience, a study on challenges and implications. Well, we are very much aware about the fourth stage of industry revolution, where everything is digitalized, and they are studying about the impact of AI in humans, right? So, if we are studying about the impact of AI in the humans, then I have also chosen topic related to teaching learning experience, where I'm discussing about the role of AI in it. And as we know that AI is now the next electricity, and it has very much potentials in the field of teaching and learning. The focus of my research is on studying the challenges, implications, and the student outcomes of learning. The research gap that I just discussed in my research paper was to study the impact of AI in studying student learning outcomes. The implications of the study can guide educational stakeholders in harnessing potentials of AI. I have used systematic approach for uh, finding out the results of my research by studying the past works. So next. Well, while conducting the systematic approach, I have used database like from Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholars, using keywords AI in teaching learning. Well, out of the 529 papers from the database, the total papers that I have considered for my research is 27 papers out of by carrying out certain screening process that is being done in the Prisma framework. So next. Well, data presentation here I'm talking about in the overall paper of 27, the issues and the challenges. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, in the research summary, well, I have already talked about the introduction section where I talked about challenges, implications, and student learning outcomes that I have studied. And well, we know the benefits of the AI is in personalized learning. It provides better feedback and new educational experience to the students. And the challenges that I've talked about in my paper is about the cost, because as we know the cost that is required to involve AI in education is very much, and everyone cannot afford it. Biasness that it can create in between student in terms of gender and religion, and disruption, because most of the times it involves the perspective of the teacher. Sometimes they feel like they might not be included in the future, as the teachers might be not working when AI comes into power. And next, lack of teacher training. At times what happens when the teachers are very much not aware about the AI technology, then that can impact the teaching learning process. And the lack of research, when the AI about the AI they don't have proper research, then that can also impact the teaching and learning thing. Next, next in the result and discussions, I'll talk about that the paper studied about the past, present, and also discussed about the future impact of the AI. Well, in the past, very much past research has been carried out to study overall the impact of AI that has been done. And in present, the role of VR, the role of robots, and the new educational products that has enhanced the teaching learning process has been discussed in the paper. And the use of the new management skills that has been conducted to make this process very much easier. And next, future, about the future, the paper talks about that the what the strong bridge has to be created in between to create a teaching learning process. Next, I will to conclude by saying that there is a need for the ethical policy in order to carry out and define the ethical boundaries, which is very much essential. And it also discusses about the main issues in the dimensions of technology, infrastructure, personal and data handling that are needed to be addressed. And that's my future findings.
Thank you. Next, presenter is Bhavna Kshatriya. Her topic is integration of the concept of sustainable development in teacher education. Serial number 38. Kind request to complete your presentation within 5 minutes.
A very warm greetings to all. I am Bhavna Kshatriya, a research scholar education. I am from Kalyan PG College, Sector 7, Bhilai. My topic is integration of the concept of sustainable development in teacher education in Durg district. Actually, teacher education and sustainable development is directly connected to each other. The teacher education is a central focal factor. And for national development, because the entire sector in the society depends on the human resources for efficient work and continuous development. The sustainable refers to the long-lasting and persistent behavior. Okay, and the future-focused society, the ultimate goal is the sustainable development. An important factor in achieving this goal is education. Since both deal with the well-managed livelihood, equity and equality in society, constant economic progress, and a number of other concerns relating to the social obligation. Yes, ma'am. Okay. 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 Actually, in present study, okay. Actually, in present study, I want to know the ground level concept of the sustainable development and integration of the teacher education faculties and teacher trainees and teacher educators and institutes also. Next slide. My method and methodology of my studies, okay. That are results. When I come to the result and I just find out that in a local level, ठीक है, अगर हम दुर्ग डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जो लोकल लेवल के एजुकेटर, टीचर ट्रेनर्स, टीचर एजुकेटर्स और टीचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स के बारे में उनके थॉट्स या कॉन्सेप्ट को इंटीग्रेशन से रिलेट करके देखते हैं और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के इंटीग्रेशन को वो किस हद तक समझ सकते हैं और क्या उनके कॉन्सेप्ट सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में क्लियर है या नहीं है। तो बेसिक जो चीजें होती सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए टीचर एजुकेशन में, उसको समझने के लिए मैंने ये एनालिसिस किया। इन द शॉर्ट टाइम आई यूज्ड क्वेश्चनायर for teacher educators, teacher trainees and teaching institute also, and we can find out that the only 60% teacher educators are understand that integration of sustainable development in teacher education. They don't know about the basic concept of the sustainable development actually. And in second table, we can found that the only 46% of teacher trainees were understood the concept of the integration of sustainable development in teacher education. क्योंकि जो टीचर एजुकेटर्स और टीचर ट्रेनिंग्स जो होते हैं उनको खुद ही यह नहीं पता होता है कि इंटीग्रेशन सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का इंटीग्रेशन टीचर एजुकेशन में कैसे किया जाए। और थर्ड जब हम टेबल में देखा हमने तो उसमें ओनली 43 टीचर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट्स आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट। टीचर इंस्टीट्यूट्स जो होते हैं, जो बीएड कॉलेजेस होते हैं, उनमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को लेकर बहुत ही कम प्रोग्राम जो है ऑर्गेनाइज करवाए जाते हैं। तो जैसा कि सर ने इनॉग्रल प्रोग्राम में कहा कि हमको सबसे पहले जो है वो बेसिक जो सबसे ग्राउंड लेवल के प्रॉब्लम्स है उसको सॉल्व करना चाहिए, ना कि नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जाना चाहिए। तो जो मेरा ग्राउंड लेवल की प्रॉब्लम है वो मेरा एरिया या मेरा लोकल एरिया है, जहां पर मुझे ये पता करना चाहिए कि सबसे पहले मेरे लोकल एरिया में क्या प्रॉब्लम है और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के इंटीग्रेशन को लेकर टीचर एजुकेशन, क्योंकि मैं एजुकेशन फील्ड से हूँ, तो टीचर एजुकेशन में इस सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को इंटीग्रेट करने के लिए कॉन्सेप्ट उनके एक्चुअली में क्लियर है कि नहीं है। तो जब तक वो कॉन्सेप्ट ही क्लियर नहीं होगा या उनकी जो बेसिक डायमेंशंस और स्किल्स और मेथड्स जो हैं वो ही अगर क्लियर नहीं होंगे तो हम उसको इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर सकते। ओके, थैंक यू।
Thank you. Next one is Darshika Chaudhary. Is she present? Okay. Neha
Ma'am, again,
Kumari,
on.
topic is factors affecting the attendance of school-going children from LNMU, Darbhanga, Bihar. She is from LNMU, Darbhanga, Bihar. And request to complete your presentation within 5 minutes.
Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, professors and my dear colleagues. My name is Neha Kumari my name is Neha Kumari and I am a PhD research scholar from LN Mithila University, Darbhanga, Bihar. My presentation topic is factors affecting the attendance of school-going children. Okay, sir. Education play. Yes, ma'am. Yes, मैम मैम जब बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाएंगे तो कोई भी डेवलपमेंट के बारे में सोच नहीं सकते हैं हम। तो इसीलिए मैंने ये मतलब इसीलिए इस टॉपिक को मैंने सेलेक्ट किया कि क्या रीजन है कि बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जा रहे हैं। अगर हम ऐसे देखें तो स्कूल जो होते हैं लगभग देखा जाए तो 3 टाइप के होते हैं। एक तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट होता है, एक प्राइवेट होता है और एक गवर्नमेंट होता है। तो प्राइवेट स्कूल में तो जाते हैं बच्चे, बट गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में इन बिहार वहाँ की एजुकेशनल जो सिस्टम है वो बहुत खराब है, मतलब बहुत खराब कंडीशन में है। यस मैम। हाँ हाँ हाँ। मैम मैंने पाया है कि बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते हैं, इसके पीछे बहुत सारे रीजन है। पहला कि बच्चे उनके पेरेंट्स नहीं समझते, कंसस नहीं है कि बच्चों को एजुकेशन की क्या वैल्यू है। और दूसरा मैंने पाया कि कुछ बच्चे मतलब बहुत इंटीरियर एरिया में है और स्कूल बहुत डिस्टेंस पे है, तो इस वजह से बहुत डिस्टेंस की वजह से स्कूल बच्चे नहीं जा पा रहे हैं। और कुछ है कि लोग कंसस नहीं है और मतलब रीजन है कि वहाँ के जो टीचिंग मेथड है वो भी बहुत मेन इम्पोर्टेंट रोल निभा रहा है। जैसे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में है मैम कि टीचर्स बहुत हाईली क्वालिफाइड हैं, बहुत प्रोसेस के थ्रू उनको उनका सिलेक्शन होता है, फिर भी वो कंसस नहीं है। उनको नहीं लगता है कि पढ़ाना मेरी ड्यूटी है, उनको लगता है कि मेरी जॉब हो गई है तो मेरा काम बस सैलरी लेना है और मेरी ड्यूटी है कि 10 से 4 या 10 से 3 मेरी ड्यूटी है, बस उसमें मैं कुछ भी करूं। बच्चों को क्या मैं दे रहा हूं इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है उनको। नेहा मैम। यस मैम। हाँ हाँ। यस मैम। करेक्ट करेक्ट। हाँ हाँ। यस मैम। बिल्कुल। हाँ। यस यस मैम। मैंने रिव्यू मेरा मैम ये सेकेंडरी डेटा वर्क है। मैंने 50 आर्टिकल्स और रिसर्च वर्क को रिव्यू किया है, देन मैंने जो पाया है उसके अकॉर्डिंग मैं ये बोल रही हूँ मैम। हाँ। यस मैम। मैम मेरा सजेशन यही है कि पेरेंट्स को भी मतलब जागरूक करना चाहिए कि एडुकेशन जो है एक या कोई भी प्रोग्राम अगर गवर्नमेंट चला रही है, मिड डे मील है या कि साइकिल या कि ड्रेस वगैरह के लिए जो पेमेंट पैसे मिलते हैं उसको आप एक वो इनकम का सोर्स ना समझें, वो आपके बच्चों के डेवलपमेंट के लिए है। तो उसको पेरेंट्स को भी मैम एक तरह से एक के उनको जागरूक करना चाहिए, चाहे वो एड के थ्रू। जैसे मैम कोई अगर पॉलिटिकल लीडर है, कोई खुद के एड के लिए कितना कोशिश करते कैसे मैं जीतूं, तो यस मैम। मैम ऐड के थ्रू, जैसे उसमें ऐड जैसे देते हैं सब शिक्षा अभियान, तो उसमें कुछ और ऐड ऐसा ऐड ऑन किया जाए, पेरेंट्स भी थोड़ा सा कंसियस हो। और मैम मैम टीचिंग मेथड में भी गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी जो भी है, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है, प्राइवेट स्कूल में जैसे मैम होता है ना कि अगर पे भी करते हैं पेरेंट्स, सब कुछ करते हैं, फिर भी बच्चे जा रहे हैं, तो वहाँ का जैसे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मैम अच्छा है तो बच्चे वहाँ जाए स्कूल। तो जैसे कि मैम स्कूल अगर प्राइवेट स्कूल की बात करें तो वहाँ प्लेग्राउंड है या फिर बहुत सारी चीज एड ऑन है, तो हो सकता है अगर गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में भी एड ऑन कर दिया जाए तो बच्चे भी चाहेंगे कि मैं वहाँ जाऊँ, तो एक ये हो सकता है। That's it from us.
Thank you. Next presenter is Sanjeev Kumar. Topic is Banking and Education in Post-Modern Era, serial number 26. After this, we are going to start of online session. So it's a kind request to the participant to be ready with the PPTs. I'm just announcing the name. Current call, Dr. Nidhi Sharma, Vasvi Talwar, Archana Singh. Please be ready with the PPTs.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Sanjeev Kumar from LNMU. Today my topic is banking education in postmodern era. It means कि इसमें जो हम बात करने जा रहे हैं, इसमें 3 टर्म है हमारे यहाँ प्रेजेंटेशन का। सबसे पहले है बैंकिंग, दैट इज द की फैक्टर ऑफ द सोसाइटी, just you can say the key development of the society. This is the finance. Second is education. Education means in postmodern society, that is the knowledge. It's knowledge generated by the institutions. Any second pillar of the my topic. And third is the postmodern era. Postmodern era. Modernity talks about the development. आपको कहीं से भी किसी भी तरह से डेवलपमेंट मिले, डेवलपमेंट करना है। यानी हमें भूख लगी है, कहीं से भी रोटी मिले, मुझे खाना है। हमें ये नहीं देखना है वो चोरी की रोटी है या फिर कहीं से भी रोटी आया, मुझे भूख लगी, मुझे खाना है। दैट इज द डेवलपमेंट। लेकिन यदि हम पोस्ट डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं, यानी डेवलपमेंट विथ एथिक्स, एथिक्स की बात जोड़ते हैं हम, वहां पर आता है मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म। हम कहते हैं कि जैसे छत्तीसगढ़ की बात करें, मैं बिहार से बिलोंग करता हूँ, बिहार में बहुत सारे डाइवर्सिटीज हैं, लेकिन डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ लैंड यदि कहा जाए छत्तीसगढ़ होगा उसमें, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो बहुत सारे ट्राइब्स भी हैं और नेचुरल डाइवर्सिटीज भी है। इस डाइवर्सिटीज में यदि हम डेवलपमेंट की बात करें तो यहाँ पर सबसे आता है कल्चरल डाइवर्सिटीज को प्रोटेक्ट करना, जिसमें सर ने अभी सरकारिया सर ने ही बताया कि यहाँ पर जो बहुत सारी भाषाएं हैं जो यहाँ से विलुप्त हो जा रही हैं। कहने का मतलब है कि ये जो एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन है, मेरे टॉपिक में मिडिल में रखा गया है, यह हमारे फिनांस और मॉडर्निटी यानी पोस्ट मॉडर्निटी, इन दोनों को कंबाइन करने का ये काम करेगा। मेरा पेपर इसी तीनों को किस तरह से जोड़ करके हम डेवलपमेंट ला सकते हैं, इस पे बेस है, बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द स्टडी। मैं इसके मेथोलॉजी और इन सभी पर नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं खास करके इसके लास्ट की चीजों में आऊंगा कि जिसमें कि फाइंडिंग्स क्या है। जैसे एज ए बैंकर यदि मैं बात करूं कि फिनांस है पहला, तो बैंकर हमेशा सोचता है कि मैं यदि 1 रुपया किसी को दे रहा हूं तो वो मुझे 1 रुपया प्लस होकर के आना चाहिए, चाहे मैं किसी को भी दूं। इवन वो किसी को भी पैसे दे, उसको सिर्फ मोटो रहता है कि हमें प्रॉफिट चाहिए। लेकिन उसके साथ एक चीजें और है, यदि हम जैसे ही वो एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन की तरफ जाता है, यदि हम इससे कुछ दिन पहले चलें तो एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन मतलब ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट, लो रिटर्न, और उसको क्या माना जाता था, इट्स ए चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट। और हम जानते हैं कि चैरिटी कभी भी विकसित नहीं हो सकता है, और चैरिटी को यदि डेवलप करना है इट शुड बी बिजनेस। लेकिन सिर्फ यदि बिजनेस होता है तो हम फिर उस मॉडर्निटी में आते हैं जहां हमको किसी भी तरह से रोटी चाहिए हमें पेट भरने के लिए। लेकिन यदि हम उसी को पोस्ट मॉडर्निटी में लाते हैं तो बिजनेस विथ एथिक्स, यानी हमारा जो इंस्टीट्यूशन होना चाहिए वो होना चाहिए क्या, तो हमें एथिक्स के साथ हम बिजनेस करें, यानी हम सोशल प्रायोरिटीज को भी ध्यान में रखें। तो यहाँ पर बैंक का क्या पैसा फंसता है, हम जो एजुकेशन को लोन देंगे, मान लीजिए एजुकेशन लोन देंगे, मेन बच्चों को लोन दिया हमने, तो उसका रिटर्न कैसे आएगा, क्योंकि मैक्सिमम केसेस में जैसे मैंने कुछ ब्रांचेज का स्टडी किया, उसमें पाया कि जो एजुकेशनल लोन है उसमें यदि वो ए ग्रेड इंस्टीट्यूशंस को दे रहे हैं
इवन बी ग्रेड इंस्टीट्यूशंस को दे रहे हैं, तो वहां पर उनकी रिकवरी आ रही है। लेकिन यदि वो सी ग्रेड इंस्टीट्यूशंस या फिर गवर्नमेंट के जो द्वारा जो पॉलिसीज लाएगी उसके अनुसार आप किसी भी एजुकेशन लोन को रिजेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हो, दैट इज द कंडीशंस इट गोइंग टू बी एनपीए। और एजुकेशन लोन की सबसे बड़ी चीज क्या है कि इसमें जो इंटरेस्ट चार्ज होता है वो होता तो है पर मंथ, और वो साथ शुरू में तो उसमें जो है सिंपल इंटरेस्ट होता है, बाद में वो कंपाउंडिंग हो जाता है। लेकिन जब आप एजुकेशन को समाप्त करते हो, मोरेटोरियम पीरियड समाप्त होता है, उसके बाद के पीरियड आपके ऊपर अच्छा खासा बर्डन आता है और आपके पास जॉब इतनी अच्छी नहीं होती आप उसको सस्टेन कर सको। तो दैट इज द बेसिक पॉइंट विद द बैंक। तो यहाँ पर कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं, यदि इस बीच में कोई कैजुअलिटीज हो गई उसको कौन कवर अप करेगा। तो अब चूंकि हमारे पास इंश्योरेंस कंपनी और पोस्ट मॉडर्न एरा यानी हम उत्तर आधुनिक काल की बात करें, तो यहाँ पर सबसे अच्छी चीज है कि यहाँ हर कोई इंश्योरेंस के साथ चलना चाहता है। हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस हो, पर्सनल इंश्योरेंस हो, चाहे अपनी एक बाइक भी चलाते हैं फिर भी उसके इंश्योरेंस रखते हैं। हमने खुद का ही नहीं, सबका। इट मीन्स इंश्योरेंस इज द सेफ्टी वॉल, दैट इज द पॉइंट। और यहाँ पर है कि अब दोनों के बीच फिर रिलेशन कैसे हो, क्योंकि डेवलपमेंट तो हमें चाहिए, पोस्ट मॉडर्न सोसाइटी में हमें डाइवर्सिटी भी चाहिए और डेवलपमेंट भी चाहिए। इन दोनों के बीच हमें कैसे, तो इसके लिए क्या करती है, एक तो जो एजुकेशन में जैसे सर ने कहा था पहले अभी सुबह के भी लेक्चर में कि हम जो है क्या करते हैं, सोसाइटल बेस्ड एजुकेशन को प्रोवाइड करा रहे हैं और हम एंटरप्रेन्योर को तैयार कर रहे हैं। यदि हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर आएगा, यदि बैंक हमेशा मान करके चलती है कि उसके कुछ लोन जो है वो एनपीए होंगे, लेकिन परसेंटेज ऑफ लोन यदि उसका एनपीए नहीं होता है, इट विल नॉट बॉदर अबाउट द बैंक, बैंक विल इन्वेस्ट इन एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन। इस यही वजह है कि बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस में आपके बैंकिंग के ब्रांचेज होंगे जो उसको फैसिलिटेट करता है वहाँ के फैसिलिटीज के लिए, वहाँ के स्टूडेंट की फैसिलिटीज के लिए, प्लस उसको एजुकेशन लोन प्रोवाइड कराने के लिए। प्लस इसमें जो कॉर्पोरेट होते हैं, कॉर्पोरेट की अपनी जरूरतें हैं। जैसे अभी बहुत सारे पेपर थे जो कि एआई पे था, इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए, क्योंकि डेवलपमेंट मीन्स इन्वेस्टमेंट, इन्वेस्टमेंट मीन्स बैंकिंग। ओके मैम, ये तीनों को रिलेट करके ये था। ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Now we are moving towards online presentation. First one is current call. Current call. Are you present? Okay, next one is Dr. Nidhi Sharma.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Who is there? Okay, Dr. Nidhi Sharma. Okay, share your PPT. You have 3 minutes to present your paper. 3 minutes to present your PPT.
Okay, all right, ma'am. All right.
Kindly share.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'm Dr. Nidhi Sharma from PCGCG 11 Chandigarh, and my title is Foreign Language Education as a Tool Towards Sustainable Development. The aim of education is not only to provide knowledge, which is given in books only, but to make new generations aware of values and skills that promote good understanding between people belonging to different cultural identities in order to allow them to live together well in diversity and to work together to achieve sustainable development. It is important for foreign language teachers to reflect on various models of teaching which strongly promote sustainable development and at the same time adopt best practices in language teaching and learning. The aim of such education is to help individuals to live at ease in a culturally heterogeneous environment. So if we talk about language, language is the unique characteristics of human species which serves as a medium of communication. And if we talk about the concept of development, development can be viewed as the provision of qualitative improvement in the lives of people. According to Kodzi, it is a form of social change that leads to progress, acquiring knowledge, and having access to resources for decent living. So here are the goals for sustainable development, but we won't get into each and every goal because of shortage of time. So foreign language education as a tool towards sustainable development. Language is the foundation of sustainable economic development, as we all can see these days that foreign language serves as a very important base for sustainable development for communication, and without language as communication is not possible. So it serves as a platform. Language plays a very important role in the development process of any nation, starting from the framing stage to the implementation and evaluation of identified societal goals, and the sustainable development goals are not exempted. Language plays a remarkable role in creating, stating, interpreting, and understanding these development goals, and also in their execution and evaluation process. So because of the shortage of time, I'll be coming up to the conclusion now. The SDGs adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 represent the world's universal framework for sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprints to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including those related to poverty, inequality, environment degradation, peace, and justice. Colin J. Dichite reminds us in his book that there is no development without communication, yet languages are invisible in the SDGs. The 17 SDGs are broken down into 169 targets. Progress towards these targets is tracked by country to country monitoring of 231 unique indicators. However, language is not mentioned in any of them. So to conclude, I will say that amongst other mediums of achieving these goals, language plays a significant role in stating, implementing, and evaluating developmental goals vis-a-vis the dynamic problems of political exclusion, economic marginalization, and social discrimination in most countries of the world. I hope I was able to finish within the given time framework. Thank you so much.
Thank you for keeping our words. Next participant is Vasvi Talwar. Vasvi Talwar.
Hello, ma'am. So I'll be presenting my paper. Just a second. I want to share my PPT.
Yes, please. You're having 3 minutes to present your PPT.
Sure, ma'am.
I'm just taking next participant name also so that you can just be ready with your PPT. Archana Singh, Dr. Dikshit Deepak Subhash, Rupam Shukla with Dr.
Yeah. We are here. Yes, we are here.
Be ready with your PPT.
Yes, we are there.
Ma'am, my PPT is visible?
Yeah, it's visible. You're sharing with your mobile phone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, good afternoon. So my topic is an analysis on the ethical and legal issues related to assisted reproductive laws and Indian study. First of all, what is assisted reproductive technology? We always know that technology has always been considered as one of the crucial factors in every aspect, whether it is about business or medicine, because the technological development is that where the human beings stands for ERT, and this technology is basically for couples who are not able to have children, and therefore it is very much essential to regulate this technology because it involves the health of every individual, which is considered as one of the important components of international law. ART has considered being very important as it got its success on 25th July 1978 when the first child named Durga, named Louise Joy Brown, had taken birth through this technology. But it was considered in India, the child name was Durga, who was also known as Kanupriya. He has also taken just after 69 days the birth of a first child. So ART has created a hope for the couples who wanted to enjoy the parenthood. So in the year 1982, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, which acts as a regulatory authority in the field of medical science, which recognized the importance of this technology and wanted to be assessed to be by all the parents who wanted to enjoy the parenthood in their relations. So ICMR took around 6 years.
Vasavi, sorry to interrupt you. You just
Yes,
go to the ethical and legal issue which you have found out in your research.
Okay, sure, ma'am. So then I'll talk about the history that how this technology created a ray of hope for the couples, and regarding the regulatory mechanism as ART clinics and everything has been established. The act comes in 2021. Earlier, the Medical Council, which acts as a regulatory authority, was responsible to look after this act, And there are various reproductive rights which talks about under Indian Constitution, that talks about the rights of women, like Article 14, 15, which provides provisions of discrimination. Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty, or Article 42, which talks about the provisions for maternity relief. 51A talks about the dignity of women, and there are various cases like Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. They talk about the constitutional rights of women, which clearly says that the right of personal liberty and reproductive choice is very much important. And according to Suchita versus Chandigarh administration, which also talks about the reproductive rights, which says that the women have the full right to carry a pregnancy, which give birth to a child, and to raise a children. It talks about the right to privacy, dignity, and integrity of the woman. So there are various, and I would like to conclude that the ray of ART is like a ray of hope, and it has created really benefit for the couples who wanted to enjoy the parenthood. It is like a ray of hope for them. And the things that we need to consider, that this act should be regulated in a very prudent and in a very useful manner, so it act like a boom for everyone who wanted to raise a child, but in a positive manner. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next participant is Archana Singh. Archana Singh, kindly share your PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please share your PPT.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. So warm greetings to safe and shares. I am myself
F5.
Archana. Am I audible completely?
Yes, you are audible. Just press
Yes.
F5.
Yeah. Okay.
Full screen.
Yeah, just a minute. Hold on, ma'am. Yeah. Is it okay?
Still full, make it full screen. Okay, please carry on. 3 minutes you're having to present now.
Okay. So myself, Archana, I am pursuing PhD from Galgotia University, and currently I'm working as an assistant law professor in IMS Noida. I am presenting my paper on the topic of integrating sustainable development into contract farming, the role of academic industry partnership in enhancing farmers' livelihood and environmental sustainability. Since we all know that India is an agricultural country, more than 60% population dependent on the agriculture, but still, this is unfortunate for our country that still the agriculture is not a regularized industry, and we still are facing so many problems in this field, and the most of the population is dependent on the agriculture. So the topic is the contract farming is an agriculture arrangement where the farmers enter into an agreement with agribusinesses, firms, cooperatives, or the processors to produce, supply, and agriculture commodities under the pre-established terms and conditions. It is a mutually beneficial arrangement that provides a framework for the collaboration between the farmers and the buyers. So what is the role of academic industry partnership in this contract farming? Academic industry partnership have emerged as a potential mechanism for addressing these challenges and enhancing the sustainability of the contract farming. Academic institutions can provide research, training, and extension services to the farmers, while industry partners can provide market access to and financial resources. We have many examples like the ITC Limited is a diversified conglomerate which interests consumer goods, hotels, paper boats, and agriculture. The company has been involved in the contract farming of various crops, including tobacco, wheat, soybean, and shrimp, among others. The company provides farmers with improved the productivity and income to the farmers. Yes, we have another example like Mahindra and Mahindra, also involved in the automobile in manufacture, but still he is involved in the contract farming of various crops like the sugarcane, grapes, and tomato, and many more. Apart from these, we have some another examples like PepsiCo Indica. This company is also be normally known for the Pepsi Cola, but this company is also involved in the contract farming of potatoes, tomatoes, and chili peppers. Amul, a very well-known cooperative society, which has been started for the milk product, but still these are also involved in the contract farming and providing very much facilities across the India and all over them. The cooperative provides farmers with training, input, supply, market linkage, which has improved the productivity and income of the farmers. Yes, there is an issue in this, and the issue is about this dependence on the single crop, the unequal power relations, the contractual enforcement issues, environmental degradation, water resources, labor practices, and many more. And in a law, we can see there is a concept of hedonism, that there is always a pleasure and pain theory.
Please to sum up your presentation, please.
Yeah. So, I have given one more example, the one of the academic industry partnership example. Like there is promoting sustainable development contract farming is the collaboration between the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center and Nestle in Mexico. The partnership aimed to promote sustainable agriculture by introducing the sustainable production practices among the contract farmers for the Nestle. So these are the examples. I have certain suggestions on this point, that the collaboration between academia and industry, adoption for the sustainable practices, fair pricing and the contracts, focus on smallholder farmers, inclusion of environmental sustainability criteria and capacity building and monitoring evaluation. These are the suggestions from my side. And in conclusion, integrating sustainable development into contract farming is essential for enhancing farmer livelihoods and the environmental sustainability. Contract farming can be an effective tool for promoting sustainable agriculture practices and improving the socio-economic conditions for farmers, particularly smallholder farmers. However, there are certain challenges are here, and we all need to be addressed this, including the lack of access to resources, fair pricing, and the absence of sustainability criteria in contract farming agreements. That's all from my side. Thank you very much, the university, for organizing such event.
Thank you. Nice presentation. Now, we are honored to have our session chair, Dr. Padma Bore, with us. She is a dean of Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University. As per qualification, she has done BSc in microbiome, MA English Literature, BEd, MEd, MPhil, MA in Education, PhD in Education, MA in Sociology. Her teaching experience in UG is 20 years and PG in 14 years. She has published 22 research paper, 7 book chapter. She has been invited as resource person in 6 FDPs. She has also invited for 10 talks. For welcoming her, I would like to invite Jai Singh ma'am to present a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Please. Now coming towards the presentation, our next participant is Dr. Deepak Subhas Dikshit.
Host,
kindly share your PPT.
Yes,
You're having 3 minutes to present your PPT. Kindly be
Yes.
with the timings. Next,
Yes.
Rupam Shukla, please be ready with your PPT.
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Yes, here I am starting. I am Dr. Deepak Dikshit. I am assistant professor in Pune. I will take
Able to
3
see
minutes.
your PPT.
You are not able to see?
It's not visible.
Deepak, if you are unable to say, it's fine. You can start your presentation because you are aware of your research. You can directly start your presentation without.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Thank you, ma'am. As I have to respect the time, I would like to come to my presentation, that challenges for Indian English teachers for teaching English pronunciation. So here, just a minute, if I am able to share the PPT, it will be covered in 3 minutes. Is it visible now or not?
No, it's not visible.
Okay, no
Are you
problem.
sharing with your
Okay. No, I'm sharing with my laptop.
You carry
Okay,
on
no
with
problem.
your presentation.
Yes.
No issue.
I'm carrying on. So English pronunciation is one of the important tasks in the English classroom, because all the students are now shifting, all the parents are shifting their words into the English medium, but nobody is taking
Okay, next presentation, please. Rupam Shukla, if you're present here, kindly share your PPT.
Yeah, Rupam is there.
Yes, ma'am. It shows me host disable the participant screen sharing. Can you just enable it, please?
No.
English phonology. So it
Rupam Shukla, kindly share your PPT.
Ma'am, I'm unable to share the PPT. It shows that the host has
Ma'am,
disabled the screen sharing.
could you please enable the participant screening share option because your host has disabled it?
They presented first.
To whom?
They are in the program.
To your admin or to host person, you please ask because it is showing that host disabled the participant screening option. Then how we are going to screen it?
Okay. Rupam Shukla, are you able to present your PPT?
Ma'am, the screen sharing option is not available.
But from our side, no issue is there.
It shows host has.
Still, yes, it is still showing host disabled participants screen sharing.
I think it would be better if you please speak with your admin.
Yeah, Rupam Sukla, I have made you a co-host. Now you can share your screen. Rupam Sukla.
We can set up to
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
No, you can send it at once.
You are now co-host. You can share your screen. Rupam Sukla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm sharing it. Is my screen visible?
No.
Because it is showing that Dikshit has started screening. Yeah. Rupam, yeah, please carry on. Rupam Shukla has started screen sharing.
Yeah. 65 is the maximum.
Yeah, Rupam Sukla, it is visible. Now you can start.
You started, Rupam.
So that you send 50.
All right. So our topic is social media and sustainability, a study to assess the social media's role in promoting collective opinion. In the research paper, we have tried to find out how social media is promoting sustainable development. So at a time when the social media and digital platforms are used more by institutions like the United Nations to promote the idea of sustainable development, the idea is to find out how effective it is. So why social media? Because the idea of social media is not just about an individual, but the entire society in general. It goes beyond the individual and talks about the entire globe, the entire community of people. Estimatedly, as per a recent study, there are around 8 billion people on Earth, out of which 66%, which is close to 4.9 billion people, are on social media platforms. Hence, it is imperative that if sustainable development goals are promoted using the social media platforms, it is very, very effective. It also helps in bridging the social gap through more human action and one-on-one conversation by which people can know each other in a much better way and understand their problems at a global scale. Now, when we come to our research study, for the study, we have employed quantitative as well as qualitative techniques. We have also employed document analysis, which is primarily a call technique. It helped us in reviewing the available resources in the physical as well as online formats. So we also shared some questionnaire and also employed the DCI or data collection instrument to collect responses on the role of social media and endorsing the collective opinion. This research has helped us in gathering primary data. So definitely we have used some secondary data, but more focus has been relied upon the primary sources of data. So due to repository of time, I'll stick to the data presentation part. So in our research and our findings, we asked several questions to our respondents.
Your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. One of the question was how often social media carry posts which relates to sustainable development goals, and most of our respondents said it's between rare and neutral. Despite that, around 40% of our respondents were influenced by this social media posts to take part in SDG related programs. To summarize our research, our respondents were between the age group of 16 to 40. Instagram is the most used social media platforms, and the primary cities that were focused are Bengaluru in Karnataka, Barabanki in Uttar Pradesh, and Kolkata in West Bengal. To analyze the data, the respondents used social media platforms and found that the number of occurrence of such posts are less than 50%. And despite this low occurrence, 40% of the people were taking part in sustainable development programs after getting influenced by this kind of data. Color coding, preciseness, and accuracy of such posts were the key factors in our findings. To conclude, social media can definitely emerge as one of the most important tools to promote the idea of sustainable development. However, there are challenges such as digital divide, misinformation, and the risk of selectivism, which need to be considered carefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Next participant is Lu Singh.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me, ma'am? Hello.
Yes, you're audible. Kindly share your PPT. You're having 3 minutes, no?
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, my name is Lu Seng. I'm a research scholar from Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, Meghalaya. My topic is freedom of press and state control, exploring the conflict between democracy and authoritarianism in Myanmar. So I will start with a brief background with Myanmar. Myanmar, also known as Burma, is a Southeast Asia country bordering with India, Bangladesh, China, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand, with population of 54 millions. Country has been achieved its independence from colonial rule in 1948. Despite achievement of independence, Myanmar has been plagued with complicated political situation till date. There were 3 unprecedented military coups experienced by the country in 1962, 1988, and the most recent coup in 2021 February. From 2011 to the coup, Myanmar enjoyed strict 10 years of democratic government, which jeopardized Burmese civilian concerted effort in achieving democracy ever since independence. The country was further worsened or public communication controlled by military rulers. Besides this glitch, freedom of expression was banned in the country since 1962 with variety of restriction. According to that Reporter Without Borders report, Myanmar media freedom was ranked in that 139 place out of 180 in the context of war press freedom. So the purpose of the study is like to examine the method, pattern, and attitude of the Myanmar military administration toward media control. So this is a literature review article, and I did systematically study. So I'll go to next slide. Press freedom in Myanmar. The print, broadcast, and online media of Myanmar has undergone strict censorship and regulation since the first military coup in 1962. The constitution provides for freedom of speech and the press. However, the government prohibits the exercise of the right in practice since the first coup. Till 2012, Myanmar has pre-publication censorship, which means every story before being published has to go through get the approval of the Press Scrutiny Committee. Before 2012, press and all type of media outlets were required to do pre-censorship. All media outlets had to pass through the press scrutiny and registration founded by military authority themselves before it is made public.
Time over.
Any news article that went
time over, Lu Seng.
Okay, I'll just go directly to the conclusion.
Yeah, come to conclusion and finish it up.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So the conclusion is the government exercised strict control over the media and subjecting journalists who cover sensitive topics to threat and jail and other form of reprisal. Myanmar military has regularly seized government control and repressed democratic movement. In contrast, the government has kept a strict grip over the press, subjecting journalists who cover sensitive topics to intimidation, jail, and other form of vengeance. Even that advancement in the law, the government has continued to exert control over the media through various ways, such as Official Secret Act and other telecommunication law. This law allows the government to classify the material as secret and penalize anyone who reveal classified information. Journalists who cover controversial topics are susceptible to arrest and internment and restrictive regulation. regularly terrify media organization. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Next participant is Dimpi Srivastav.
Ma'am, just a minute.
Yes, madam.
Ali here. I know you all are waiting from very long time for your presentation part. But the thing is that due to large number of presentation, we are running short for our time. So it's a request from our end. Just take minimum time to present your research paper because you have done the research. You know the research thing very well. So don't wait for a PPT or something. If you are ready, if it's in your mind, just pick it up. Whatever less time you can take, just take it. We have given 3 minutes time to you, but if you can finish your presentation within 3 minutes or less than 3, that will be good for you and for us also. And sorry that we are making this request so many times that please complete your presentation within the time that has been given to you.
Next participant is Dimpi Srivastav. Kindly
Yes,
share
ma'am.
a PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible? Madam?
Yeah, it's visible.
It's visible? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dimpi Srivastav, and I'm a research scholar from Government DB Girls College, Kalipadi. I'm going to talk about history and concept of magic realism. The word magic realism is self-explanatory. It is an amalgamation of magic and realism. Now, when we talk about realism, we all know that it is about presenting the world as as it can be seen from your eyes with all the authentic details. But when we talk about magic in magic realism, it is not only about flying witches or magic wands being used by fairies. It can also range to absurdity, grotesque elements within the novel. Now, magic realism, as its name suggests, simultaneously presents two contradictory viewpoints within the same narrative, that is of the natural and the supernatural. Now we'll come to the history of magic realism. The first stage begins from 1920s. In 1925, the French critic Franz Rowe, he coined the term magic realism, and he used that term for paintings, post-expressionistic paintings. After that, Massimo Bontempelli was the author who shifted the usage of this term from paintings to literary writing. The second stage begins from 1940s, where Eloho Carping here and Arturo Uslar Pietri, they both used the term marvelous realism, and they saw marvelous realism as the appropriate move for their native place, for capturing the beauty of their native place. The third stage begins from 1955 and ends in 1970s, where Angel Flores used the concept of magical realism, but he concentrated on having this, on giving non-linear narrative frame to his novels, and on keeping his plots rational. Then we come to the fourth stage, where this whole mode of magic realism got popularized, and different authors belonging to different locations started using this term magic realism in their novel. Then there are different definitions of magic realism given by different critics. Then when we come to the concept of magic realism,
Please come to the main points.
This is the main point only, madam. When we come to the concept of magic realism, the first feature is that they present two different point of views within the same narrative. The second one is antinomy. Antinomy basically means contradiction. Because of these two contradictory point of views, there is going to be some contradiction in the mind of readers. The third one is authorial reticence. Authorial reticence basically means withholding of relevant information. Throughout the narrative, when surprising elements are introduced in the novel, the narrator does not react to it, and neither the narrator nor the characters react to it. They do not pass any comments, they do not explain anything regarding the fantasy elements. I'm unable to move the slides.
Madam, I'm unable to move the slides, so I'm going for oral presentation only. The next feature is the presence of phenomenal world. No matter how much we say that it is always going to be set in a realistic setting, there's going to be certain amount of phenomenal activities that are going to be there within the narrative. Then the next element is unsettling doubts. When readers are presented with surprising elements in between the realistic narrative, they face a number of unsettling doubts whether this particular phenomenon is going to be accepted as a part of reality or as a separate part of magic itself. Then we have the next element, that is disruptions of time, space, and identity. Most of the novels belonging to
you come to a conclusion part.
Madam, I'm able to.
Okay. Just in 1 or 2 lines, you just conclude your presentation.
Okay, this is the last point that I'm going to talk about: disruption of time, space, and identity. Most of the novels belong to the genre of magic realism. They follow this non-linear narrative frame, and we often see characters coming from parallel universe, like we see in the novel The Ground Beneath Her Feet by Salman Rushdie. And the characters are also confused regarding their own identity, as we see in the novel Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next participant is Banpreet Kaur.
Yes, ma'am, I'm present here. Please allow me to share my screen.
3 minutes to present your PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, visible.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Banipreet Kaur, research scholar from the University School of Education, Guru Gobind Singh Interest University. I'm presenting this paper along with my supervisor, Dr. Anjali Shaukin, assistant professor in the same university. My topic for today's discussion is pre-service teachers' perception towards the impact of digital education initiatives on education for sustainable development in India. Why sustainable development? Because the education for sustainable development, because it is a goal for, it prioritizes the inclusive and quality education for all individuals. Why digital education initiatives? Because the digital education initiatives are focusing on achieving the 3 cardinal principles of National Education Policy 2020, that is access, equity, and quality. And for this, Indian government has initiated a integrated platform, PM Vidya, which comprises of Diksha platform, Swayam Prabha, Swayam MOOCs, community radio stations, CBSE Shiksha Vani, and DAISY there for visually and hearing impaired learners. So why pre-service teachers? Because pre-service teachers are, are the future of the country, who can deal with these digital education initiatives and sustainable developments, who are very well versed with the digital equipments, and they can integrate these sustainable issues in digital education initiatives and use various forms of multimedia practices like blended learning, flipped learning into their classroom. So we took these 3 dimensions and took their perspective for this for the completion of this study. That was first, this study stated 3 research questions. First is familiarity related to sustainable development and digital education initiatives. Second is the role of digital education initiatives for advancing sustainability in teaching practices. And third is the contribution of digital education initiatives towards the achievement of education for sustainable development goals in India. For this is the methodology. We used a descriptive design, and we used self-developed scale, which was like 0.855 at reliable, at convex alpha value was 0.855. And for the, if we see that there is a demographic profile that only 17 male participants and 151 female participants were there. Coming to the familiarity with ESD, so we can see that more than half of the students were familiar with the concept of ESD. Their self-familiarity with the ESD they reported. So more than half of said that yes, they are familiar with the term ESD. We used the education for sustainable development in the questionnaire. Here it is a short written in abbreviation version. Then familiarity with digital initiatives. So more than half said yes, they are familiar with this. When we gave them a list of finding digital initiatives
Please,
from a
please come to your conclusion part.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just coming. So when we show them the, give them a list of the digital initiatives, so only 36.31% were able to, identify equal to more than 5 digital initiatives in this study. We also used for 14 statements related to the perception. So we found that when these two statements, like when I see videos of climate change issues, I get encouraged to opt for sustainable practices in daily life, and I like to explore information regarding environmental issues using digital platforms, receive the high agreement from the pre-service teachers. And we also use the stepwise regression analysis for the same. So we found out that there are two aspects, like they think that digital education initiative can be benefit can
Please come
benefit
to the conclusion. It's more than 3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. So there was like quality education in India and educational opportunities in India. Coming to the conclusion, so I will just focus on the third research question. It was found that pre-service teachers perceive that these digital education initiatives can help in increasing knowledge of environmental conservation among teachers and learners, promote the mindset towards waste reduction among teachers and learners, provide equitable education opportunities, and help in promoting green campus attitude among teachers and learners. And this also results also reveal that they think pre-service teachers think that digital education initiatives should be enhanced in such way that they can they can also give them opportunity to tackle the international cooperation in these teacher training programs and equip them with necessary skills related to sustainability, foster global collaboration for teaching learning activities, and reduce paper consumption in Indian classroom. For the conclusion, I would like to say that there are still several challenges. So we should use multi-stakeholder approach to address these challenges. Teacher education should also prioritize the integration of sustainable development in their curriculum, along with giving them the opportunity to explore these sustainable issues through the use of digital education initiatives, which is very important for the sustainable for building a sustainable and inclusive future for the upcoming generation. Thank you.
Stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
Next participant is Darshika Chaudhary.
Ma'am, I'm not able to share my screen. Kindly permit me to share my screen. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, good afternoon, Chair. A very good afternoon to all. I'll only take 2 minutes to present. My topic is the symbolic trio of Harry, Ron, and Hermione in the Harry Potter series. Now, the Harry Potter series is a 7-novel series by J.K. Rowling, in which we see the titular character Harry Potter going about his journey to finally defeat Lord Voldemort and save the wizarding world as well as the Muggle world. Now, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are a symbolic trio. Why? Because Rowling has used the characters in a novel in a symbolic way. The trio become friend in the first day, in which we see there are many dissimilarities among them, but still, because the three of them were together, they were able to defeat Voldemort. Harry was ultimately able to defeat Voldemort. Now, in the wizarding world, there is this big phenomena called the purity of the blood. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, three of them have different purity of the blood. The three of them have different attitude towards life, which make them essential part of the group in a different manner. Harry is the leader. Hermione is the brains of the group. And Ron, we can say, is the muscles of the group. He's more about brawn than brains. Now, three of them, the trio can also be seen, the important part of my topic, the important part of my researches, the trio can also be seen as Freud's trio of id, ego, and superego. In Freudian trio of id, ego, superego, we see the personalities are divided into three parts, id, ego, and superego. It is a common phenomena wherein id is the component of libido, which we can correlate with Ron. We can say ego is rational, which we can correlate with Harry. And when we say superego is the factor which helps control it making rash decisions, and which we can say Hermione is the superego of the group. Despite their economic status, their blood status, their even in the knowledge that they have of the wizarding world, The three of them are very different, but their unity is what makes it possible for them to finally defeat Lord Voldemort. And the series is a cultural, my conclusion is the Harry Potter series is a cultural phenomena, and it is famous. Even J.K. Rowling's called the three of them her golden trio. The golden trio meaning that because of them, the story moves forward. Their relationship is the relationship which makes the story move forward and which brings meaning to the novel and which also brings meaning to the journey of Harry. Thank you very much. I hope I did not take more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Next one is Dr. Mamta Pandey.
Yes, ma'am.
Kindly share your PPT.
Ji.
Next participant is Akhilesh Kumar. If present, kindly be ready with your PPT. Mamta, right now Mamta Pandey, Dr. Mamta Pandey.
हेलो मैं डॉक्टर ममता पांडे मेरा टॉपिक है भोजपुरी कविता का सामाजिक परिपार्श। भोजपुरी समाज तथा देश ये तीनों एक तथ्य एक दूसरे के पूरक हैं। एक दूसरे के बिना इनका अस्तित्व नकारात्मक है। भोजपुरी कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी रूप में व्यक्ति से जुड़ी है और व्यक्ति का अस्तित्व समाज। जी
हेलो मैडम, प्लीज आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है, आप सीधे कंक्लूजन पे आइए, बहुत समय का अभाव है।
जी मैम, थैंक यू मैम। इस भोजपुरी कविता को अरुण चंपारनी जी की कविता ससुरा की पाती नैहर के नाम से किया गया है। इन्होंने अपनी कविता में बेटी और पिता के संबंध को उजागर किया है। बेटी अपने पिता से कहती है कि आप लोग इतना कुछ दे लेकर हमको विदा करते हैं, फिर भी समाज में हमारा कोई महत्व नहीं है। यहाँ ससुराल पक्ष हो या समाज हो, हमको हमारी स्थिति बहुत दयनीय है। इसलिए इन तथ्यों के आधार पर हम ये कह सकते हैं कि भोजपुरी कविता और का सामाजिक परिपार्श को संदर्भित किया गया है। अरुण चंपार जी ने कहा है कि सभी सही कहले पपियन के गरिया ए बाबूजी की पिया तानी ऐसे जहरिया ए बाबूजी। कई जैसे एक प्रसिद्ध कवि हैं कि पंडित धरीक्षण मिश्र, इन्होंने कहा है कि एक लड़की ससुराल जाती है और उसको हमेशा ये डर रहता है कि मैं ससुराल जा रही हूँ तो मेरी वहाँ क्या दुर्दशा होगी। उनकी एक रचना है कौना दुखे डोली में रोवत जाती
मैम प्लीज प्लीज, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम, बहुत सुंदर आपने बताया।
थैंक यू मैम।
थैंक यू। अखिलेश कुमार, अखिलेश कुमार। नेक्स्ट वन इज प्रीति कुमारी, प्रीति कुमारी। नेक्स्ट वन इज नीरज भारद्वाज, नीरज भारद्वाज। नेक्स्ट वन इज डॉक्टर Arindam Patra.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good morning, sir. Kindly share your PPT.
Just. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, I'm just going to just run the PPT and due to the paucity of time.
Your PPT within 3 minutes. Main points.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sir. So I'm going to present my topic, establishing sustainable human nature interaction today, tomorrow, and beyond. An ecotopian reading of Amitabh Ghosh's The Living Mountain, a fable for our times. So all of us know that Amitabh Ghosh is a very renowned fictional and non-fictional writer. He is Padma Shri and Gyanpith awardee. He is known for many of his outstanding works, but very recently, for last couple of years, his fictional and non-fictional works are mainly focused on climate change and environmental issues. A few of works are like The Great Derangement, Gun Island, Nutmeg Scars, Jungle Nama, Living Mountain. So I'm going to talk about the latest work, which has been published in the last year, Living Mountain, a Fable of Our Times, where he has talked about very beautifully about the climate change and a very important word, Anthropocene, which he has presented here in his work, The Living Mountain, where exactly... Sorry. So I have applied...
Arindam, please you come to a concluding part.
Yes, ma'am, coming.
Yep.
So I have applied textual analysis method, and this is a very recent story, which is basically the clash between two groups, native and Anthropocene, which he has talked about, and where Ghosh has basically focused on that how the human encroachment has devastated the environment. And in his writing, he has, through his novel, he has focused mainly the sustainable goal number 15, basically focusing on the protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, which is sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt the reverse land degradation and halt diversity loss. So through that, he has given a beautiful message. This is all about the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next one is Dr. Madhusudan.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Akhilesh Kumar.
Okay.
मेरा टॉपिक जो है शिक्षा में एनसीसी का योगदान.
Akhilesh, sir. Okay, carry on, sir.
जी हाँ मैम, एक्चुअली क्या है कि हमारा जो टॉपिक है वो शिक्षा में एनसीसी का योगदान है, और ये योगदान जो है हमारे
सर, it's okay, carry on, sir.
यो हमारा जो शिक्षा में जो एनसीसी का योगदान है वो काफी महत्वपूर्ण है, और ये जो है हमारे शिक्षा को एक अनुशासन की तरफ, एक अच्छे व्यवहार की तरफ लेके जाता है, जिससे कि शिक्षा को सुदृढ़ करने में बहुत कामयाबी मिलती है. इससे बच्चों में एक अलग अलग तरह का अनुशासन देखने को मिलता है, जो कि शिक्षा के लिए निहायत ही जरूरी है. तो इसीलिए शिक्षा में एनसीसी को या एनसीसी में शिक्षा को योगदान के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण माना गया है. जी धन्यवाद.
They got it English component, but they speak more. They just started speaking English.
अखिलेश जी आपका हो गया?
हाँ जी, धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudan.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just presenting my screen. Hope my screen is visible. Good evening, all. My presentation talks about the indigenous knowledge, how we can understand certain key concepts of Western nation through our indigenous knowledge, our own classical literatures. I have chosen Tirukkural as I am from Tamil Nadu. The topic of the presentation is the Tirukkural and NISW core values and academic integration. Moving on, we can see Tirukkural is even our Prime Minister Modi ji in his recent visit to Papua New Guinea has published, or has actually he's presented the Tirukkural in their language, the top peasant language. So here if you see, the NSW is nothing but the National Association of Social Workers. It talks about 6 core values: service, social justice, dignity and worth of a person, the importance of human relationship, integrity and competence. My understanding of these 6 core values is how this can be connected to the local environment, because there are a number of studies that talks about indigenous knowledge, the Bharatikaran of social work, understanding from local perspectives. That is, the local environment is important for social practice and education. So based on this, I have culled out certain Tirukkural that is matching the values of service, social justice, dignity of person, and important human relationship. So by connecting these two,
or Tirukkural and NASW core values, what as a social practitioner or an academician, what I will get or what my students will get? That is an important question. There is nothing but here we talk about the new education policy. In that section 4.27 talks about knowledge of India. There is learning through indigenous way of knowledge. And again, if it talks about section 4.29 of the same NEP, talks about curriculum rooted in Indian and local context. In the same way, learning from indigenous perspective. These three are the main agenda or main idea of connecting Tirukkural and NASW core values. I stop here. Thanks for the time and the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, Twinkle Verma. Twinkle Verma, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, please allow me to share my screen.
Twinkle, if possible, just speak about your research or whatever you are going to present here without your PPT if you want.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Save our time.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. I, Twinkle Verma, research scholar from Chitkara University, Chandigarh. I would like to present my presentation to you with the topic is impact of learning management system on higher education sector, a study on students and teachers' perspective. Basically, what is learning management system? It is a software application of for the administration, documentations, and some courses that we will deliver to the students, and we can easily manage the whole system and concept emerging directly from e-learning. Basically, the consequences after the COVID-19 were unbearable for the many educational industries in Punjab. Almost many countries have stopped teaching by face-to-face. So many institutions hired the learning management system and many applications like Blackboard, MOOC, and some others. Basically, the aim of my study is with online system, not only students, but also teachers have improved themselves and sharpened their skills with easily operate the internet applications. Here we have some answers. We found some answers to the following questions that to study the applications of LMS with respect to adoption of national education policy, to find out the extent of learning management system usage and applicability among students and teachers, and to figure out the loopholes that what kind of adoption in the higher education. My methodology is basically a review-based paper. My paper is basically a review-based paper on a qualitative analysis of the existing literature in e-learning platforms and online system, and studies have been analyzed in review of literature basically. After reviewing, in this methodology, I revised almost 50 research papers and some articles for the review-based. In the data interpretation analysis, because of my paper is review based, so I'm sharing some review of different authors and some scholars. My conclusion is
I'll just come to conclusion. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. My conclusion is national education policy has greatly strengthened online learning by allowing higher education institutions to run courses entirely and enhance online content. According to the national education policy, e-learning also helps in providing many online courses, and with this, students also participate in new activities. They may, in sometimes, if we are talking about the negative part of this using LMS, they may feel isolated from the classrooms and may not be interested in participating in classes in generally. So in such a situations, they not feel to get the right education, and their mental balance is not good because they are not able to go in the colleges and university. But we conclude the whole there is a positive impact are more rather than the negative. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Twinkle. Next is Shivani Jodi. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, please, without making any delay, just start your presentation.
Can I present my presentation?
If you can give your presentation without a PPT, that will be fine.
Okay. So the topic of my presentation is life below water and sustainability. So oceans are our planet's life support and regulate the global climate system. They're the world's largest ecosystem, home to nearly 1 million species.
Shivani, just what issue you have find out and what suggestion you can give for your project, just tell me in short.
Okay, so basically the oceans absorb 23% of CO2 emissions, which are generated by human activities, which lead to ocean acidification, eutrophication, and helps mitigate and helps absorbs more than 90% of excess heat in the climate system. Ocean heat is at record levels, causing widespread marine heat waves, threatening the rich ecosystems and killing coral reefs around the world. So this is the problem system statement that because of the absorption of CO2 and heat, it is killing marine life, which is below the water, and also use of plastics and human-based activities like drainage, industry discharge, pharmaceutical manufacturing discharge, discharge of radioactive waste. These are the reasons which are killing marine life. Overfishing is also polluting.
Shivani, so what is your suggestion relating to this issue? Just tell me any two suggestions.
Yes, so establishment of effective ocean governance structure. There is currently no actual law relating to oceans because there is no overall controlling body. Although we have the London Convention, but still there are a long way to go. We have to reduce, restore, and reuse. Basically, sustainably manage and protect marine coastal ecosystems. And we have to collaborate and make a partnership between the countries of Indian Ocean region. IORA and Sagar are examples. BIMSTEC is another example of multi-sectoral.
Okay, Shivani, thank you very much.
Next
Thank you.
participant is Archana.
Archana, are you here?
Are you? Archana.
Next, Poonam Yadav.
Poonam Yadav.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I share my PPT?
Is Archana or Poonam?
Poonam Yadav.
Poonam, just tell me one thing. Poonam, no need to share your PPT. Just tell me one thing. What are the issues which you have found out in your research, and what is your suggestion for that? Just tell me these 2 points.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my topic is academic and social integration as two sides of the same coin in Alice Munro's Lives of Girls and Women. It is all about adolescent, and she has community. She has good people around her. Even just because of her period, adolescence, that is volcanic period, she got attracted towards many just opposite gender, and it led her. Instead, she was intelligent. She was good learner. Even then, she just diverted, and she got A+ in her higher education. Her name was in the Hall of Shield. It was written there. But later, just because she came in contact with some people, some men or boys as well, she just diverted, and she faced failure. And at the end of the story, she wrote her own novel. So all over, I just wanted to there were some points I just want to read, please. Lack of purpose instead of following things. She has some quality. She was intelligent, and she was quite interested in reading. She got distracted environment, just like companionship. Her friend, they just like to talk about sexuality, and the visiting people, some men, those who were visiting to her home, she just liked to do certain things which seemed wrong, she understood that these things are wrong, but she just wanted to do that. So conclusion is that we must consider adolescence. We must not consider as it problem. We must accept it as they are, as there are some physical and mental changes during this period. This much only, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Next is Penna Sahu. Are you here, Penna? Next is Bimanju Sahu.
Next one is Gurpreet.
Yes, ma'am.
Gurpreet?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Just tell me one thing. You were talking about homogeneous masculinity. Just tell me any two issues, whatever you have find in your research, with your suggestion.
Yeah, only thing that I have find out that there is having men have a different problem, like elevated negative health outcomes overall, and educational performances, workforce participations, sexual difficulties, suicide ideation and completion. These are things that hasn't faced by the most of the masculinities in our India.
Okay, and what is your suggestion regarding this issue?
Yeah, suggestion is that
Tell me
masculinities,
two. Just give it two suggestion.
masculinities need to be more open, regardless of the fact that they had to perform into day-to-day lives and being open about what they want and what they do not want.
Yeah. Thank you, Gurpreet.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Next is Divakar Das. Are you here?
Yes, I'm present. Please give me 1 minute to present. I take only 1 minute. My topic is academic integration of the past, present, and futures. That is Shrestha Bharat. The definition of academic integration is can be considered as academic progress, cognitive growth, and positive learning experience. It can also be defined as student academic performance, level of intellectual development, and perception of having a positive experience in academic settings. My objective of study is to showcase how and why academic institutions should adapt integrated teaching learning methods for holistic and sustainable development of the society. To do this, the student provided different solutions related to sustainable development goals, that is fourth, and development of communication strategy to inform and engage the stakeholders and the companies analyzed in a hybrid class. The issues are related to my research work that there is a social disconnect of present generation. The hypothesis was the present education system does not meet the requirement of sustainable development goals. Most of the researchers are concentrated on commercialization of the study, but there was a missingness of social disconnect of present generation. The gap I found is ideology of sustainable development and moral values in education. But I found the commercial angle is there. Scope of the study is to find out the viewpoint of academic integration for the purpose of sustainable development. The idea may lead to the fulfillment of our dream. The India's dream is Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat. Qualitative approach has been considered for this study, and my survey location was Uttarakhand, especially there are private universities. The conclusion, I will jump into the conclusion of suggestion. That is,
please conclude your paper.
Yes, according to the researchers, teachers should access what they have taught in the same way what they have been taught. Academic integration should lead to the skill development, which leads to the trained human capital for the purpose of sustainable growth of the society. Formal education and training is highly necessary to improve the production capacity. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Our next is Sonali Suraj. Are you here? Sonali?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible. Sonali?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Environmental law. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You were talking about this international. So, what is the suggestion which you are providing for your research?
Right. Ma'am, I would just tell in 2 lines. Rome Statute is a statute at international level which has decided that there are 4 international crimes. We want ecocide, that is environmental killing, as the 5th international crime, so that International Criminal Court gets the jurisdiction to try the erring state. That is what I want to say.
So, Dali, are you done?
Just one more sentence I would like to say, ma'am, that if you look at the
Sonali, is there any suggestion which you are providing for the amendment in environmental law?
Yes, ma'am, we need to draft a separate law on ecocide. Our environmental laws are not enough, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next is Dennis R. Are you here, Dennis?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Dennis.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Dennis.
Okay.
Dennis,
can I share my screen?
Dennis, will it be possible for you to just present without your PPT?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You just highlight your issues. You just highlight 2 issues of your research and your suggestion.
All right. Thank you. My study is on the assessment of the learners' reading comprehension and arithmetic skills in solving word problems. And the study was conducted in Nakuru, Naivasha sub-county in Kenya. In the study, I found out that learners had some challenges in reading comprehension, which is contributing to their poor performance in mathematics. And this is also common with the teachers who are teaching the subject mathematics. Most of the topic in Kenya are actually application where students have to read from text to translate that text concept to mathematics problem to solve. And then it was found that learners actually performed well when the mathematics given to them as an arithmetic in an arithmetic form. So I used two form of test to do the assessment, and I was testing the students' reading comprehension and also comparing that with if the mathematics is given as it is in a numerical form. And actually learners had difficulties in solving the reading component of the test. So it's in my findings, you will notice that students actually perform better in the arithmetic skill as compared to the test comprehension skills. So my recommendation, which I concluded with, is that the reading comprehension, as was reported by researchers, be included in the Kenyan curriculum so that students will be able to solve word problems, because problem solving is actually key, especially when we talk about sustainable development and we're talking about academic integration. Problem solving is key, and that which will help the students to perform in that aspect of it is the reading comprehension, because reading what you understand and being able to visualize the mathematics is very key. Also, with the teachers, that the professional development program be introduced, because most of the teachers who responded actually had some challenges in some topics in the curriculum. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for answering our problem. Yeah. Next is Supana Sarkar. Are you here? Ayushi Agarwal. Arpita De.
Yes, I am here, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Arpita, just tell us your suggestion. Your issue.
The title of my paper is Sustainable Development and Human Needs. And I won't read out the definitions. I will just come to the conclusion part. How we can achieve the, sustainable development. Just a minute, please, ma'am. Yeah. So as human beings, we all have to be a part to play, Small actions we have to take collectively, and it can add up to a real challenge. And however, to achieve sustainability in India, we believe government needs to take the lead, and it is through the human efforts only we can build organizational capacity for sustainable development. That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Arpita. Next is Mohammad Barul. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. Barul, just tell us your issues and your find out.
Okay, ma'am, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, my topic is legal aspects of space debris remediation for the sustainable outer space environment. And I'm telling just two issues. First one is there is no legally binding definition of space debris, but we are having explanation given by the space debris mitigation guidelines. And another issue is it is very tough to identify the ownership, detection, and detection issues. And my recommendations will be we need international coordination in tracking and cataloging space debris. And it is a high time for the preparation or for the implementation of the Space Debris Convention. And my conclusion will be the both mitigation and remedial procedure must be done for both current and future space operation in order to ensure the long-term accessibility and usability of the outer space. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Barul.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Akanksha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can I share my screen? It is just...
Akanksha, just go, tell about your research, whatever you are going to present here, your issues and suggestion. That's it. We want to hear it only.
Ma'am, please listen to me. It is qualitative data. So it's complete field study. So if you will allow me to present through PPT, I will directly scroll it down and then finish it.
Akanksha, just tell us your suggestion at least. You have done the research and you know about it. Just tell us the suggestion.
Okay, so I have done the field study on the Salavas Zaris of Rajasthan, past and present. And after going through the introduction, methodology, results, craft cluster required the revival on the traditional technique of weaving, that is the camel wool, sheep wool, towards the traditional design development, because it is the languishing craft, and the need of the product diversification as well. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Akanksha. Next is Champa Devi. Are you here? Arshid, next, Arshid, are you here, Arshad?
Yes, I'm here.
Arshad?
Yeah, I'm here.
Just
Yes,
highlight
I'm here.
your issues. You are, I think you are going to speak about disabled person, right?
Yeah, exactly. Differently able person,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. So I'll read the
Just
conclusion only. Yeah,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Highlight your issue and suggestion,
Yeah.
please.
Ambitious in its design and its making India not less than a superpower in knowledge. So this new education policy ensure education for all, along with the differently able person, in the context of the provisions defined in the Constitution of India, with special reference to RWPD Act 2016. So keeping the prospectus of new education policy in view with regard to differently able person and taking assistance from RWPD Act 2016, need of the hour is to implementation of this new education policy at its full and maximum to ensure the quality education to the differently able students. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Ashrat. Next is Deepak. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, ma'am. My topic is about the media bias that is present in newspapers. Broadly, it's speaking, I have analyzed two English newspapers, but both are owned by different communities. One is owned by Bengali, one is owned by Akhasi. I'm from Meghalaya. It's a state in northeast of India. So I wanted to learn about the biases that is usually present, and we always look up to media as something which should be neutral and unbiased and objective. So in my study that went for about a year, I did a random sampling and I collected about 32 each of the papers, and I found that
what was the issue which you
some
have
bit of biases, some bit of biases.
Deepak, what is the issue which you want to highlight here, and what was your suggestion regarding that issue?
Yeah, there was a conflict in a place near Sohra, or we call Cherapunji, where one local was killed during an altercation on the Citizenship Amendment Act. And so the Bengali paper showed that the other party was the victim, whereas the newspaper owned by the locals showed that it was a retaliation and that it was not their fault, as in that the Bengali community is the outsider community. And so they need mechanisms like ILP and other mechanisms in place. And that there were these strong biases shown, that when the community was shown as vulnerable, and that they were only defending themselves, and then in a process 3 people were killed from the Bengali community, and so this was just shown as a retaliation and defense, not as an offense from the side of the locals. And this was very clear on both the newspaper. While one defended, other was quite simply it's difficult to summarize so quickly so many of findings. So yeah, this is broadly what the findings were.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Deepak. Next is Priyam. Priyam, are you here? Priyam.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Champa.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Good evening, all. I'm Champa. I'm from Himachal Pradesh University, Simla. And my topic is exploring the nexus as to the sustainable development and environmental justice in India. I directly come to the conclusion that both sustainable development and environmental justice emphasize the need for the fairness and equity. They aims to ensure that all individuals, regardless of their socio-economic background or geographical location, have equal access to a clean and healthy environment, as well as opportunities for economic and social well-being. Sustainable development recognizes the interdependency between social, economic, and environmental system. Environmental justice highlights the connections between social inequalities, environmental degradation, and public health. Both concepts recognize that addressing environmental challenges requires addressing social and economic disparities. Overall, sustainable development and environmental justice are complementary approaches that seeks to create a more just and environmentally sustainable society by integrating social equity, environmental protection, and economic development. These concepts aims to foster a balanced and inclusive approach to development that address both present and future needs. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is Ranjit Mahato. Are you here?
Ma'am, Nikita here. Ma'am, can I?
Nikita.
Yes, Nikita Vedani. Can I speak, ma'am?
Nikita, I think Nikita, just let me listen Ranjit Mahato first. Next, I'm coming to you. Ranjit, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. A very good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Ranjit, just highlight your issues and your suggestion, please.
Okay, ma'am, in the conclusion part, I just find out that the result revealed that the performance of the model in a small river basin is quite appreciable. If high resolution parameters are used, it is basically the Maxent model. And I have used bioclimatic variables along with some environmental parameters like morphometric parameters and some hydrological parameters. But due to time binding, I am unable to show you the whole result. Secondly, in the case of future prediction, the model provides course results due to having limited data sources for future environmental conditions, where I have projected the condition of the 2050 and 2070. And then moreover, we can perform a well model if we assume that the morphometric condition of the basin remains same in the future. Then the model performance will be better if we use both the parameters like morphometric parameter with high resolution and with bioclimatic variables, that is basically course resolution of 1 kilometer. And I have modeled Thor putitara, that is golden marshal, presently is an endangered fish species, but the population size of the species may more vulnerable near future as per the result that which model said about 2050 and 2017. It is basically gradually decreasing will be decrease in the near future if we will not step to sustain the fish species. And then as per the model, the future condition of the for the growth is decreased as per model 1, and as per the model 2, where I just applied bioclimatic variables, it will increase up to the year 2050. And therefore, we have conserved the species in any sustainable way. And as from my suggestion, I will explain about the sustainable use of fish species so that the community can use human community can use for a long time, and the suggestion to develop some other environmental parameters for the future condition other than bioclimatic condition like water quality, hydrology. That's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Ranjit ji. Next is Arpita. Are you here?
Ma'am, may I present, please?
Ma'am, Nikita here.
Ma'am, Superman here.
Those whose name we have called earlier, we will give you chance, but please continue. We can continue the serial number, please. We are continuing the serial number now. Those who are
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there was some network issue, so I missed.
We will call your name later on, please, Suparna. We will call your name.
Okay.
Arpita?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Arpita here.
Yeah.
Can I present?
Yeah, Arpita.
Yes, ma'am. So in my research, I have tried to identify some of the challenges that come across when implementing sustainable development goals in international law. So some of the challenges that I have identified are the rift between economic development and international environmental protection, lack of adequate resources and institutional capacity for the underdeveloping countries, the lack of mechanism on part of enforcing agencies to monitor the progress and a proper compliance mechanism. There is absolutely lack of international cooperation. There are COVID-related setbacks that affect the implementation. There's limited accountability mechanism, power imbalances between the developed and the underdeveloped countries, lack of technology transfer, time frame and urgency, and lack of public awareness. Apart from that, there is lack of political will, and the interdisciplinary nature of sustainable development makes it difficult for the countries to achieve them under the time frame given to them.
Next one is Ram Prasad Kujur. Ram Prasad Kujur. Next one is Prabhati Behra.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, my topic is diversification of agriculture in India is state-wise analysis. Ma'am, I will take only 1 to 2 minutes only. So, ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, Prabhati,
yes,
audible.
So, ma'am, my study is based on a secondary method, and to analyze the diversification, crop diversification, I have used Harvindal-Heisman index here. So, to calculate it, I have brought the data from RBI Handbook of Statistics on Indian states. So, HI index is basically the sum square of the proportion of individual crops group in a portfolio. So to analyze the index for different crops across the India, I have calculated the index for rice, wheat, coarse cereals, and for several crops. So I would like to discuss about total food grain. So I see that HI index is an inverse measure of crop diversification. We see that from 1990 to 2010, the index is 0.1, and I'm not able to, for the time constant, I'm not able to share the PPT. So I'm making it brief. So from 1990 to 2010, it was 0.1, and in 2010 and 21, it is 0.09. So we see that index is decreasing. So as HI index is an inverse measure of crop diversification, we see that crop diversification is increased in India. So in conclusion, I would like to say that crop diversity, many empirical findings show that crop diversification in India significantly changes, and in our study also we see that crop diversification is increased after 2010. So it can be so the reason can be good infrastructure.
Finish
Yes,
your this presentation, please.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Just conclude.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. So in conclusion, I would like to say that it can the reason for increased crop diversification may be for good infrastructure, government policy, input subsidy, proper irrigation facility, awareness of current policy and benefits, and it is a good sign that crop diversification is increasing in India.
Okay, Prabha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Next one is Mahesh Kumar. Mahesh Kumar. Next one is Dr. Sonali. Dr. Sonali. Next one is Mihir Brahma. Mihir. Okay, next one is Dr. Gitanjali.
Next one.
Dr. Gitanjali. Next one is Yulia One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, moderator. Good evening from Indonesia. I am Yuliawan Kasma Hidayat from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Bandung, West Java. In this occasion, I will present to all of you my research paper with Rahul Soharma. Rahul Soharma, my student at Art Education Study Program School of Postgraduate Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia from India. The title is Mahaputra Pencaksilat Hermitage, Cinta Raja Felix, Singaparna Sub.
Please come to your conclusion.
Yep. Okay. Okay. My conclusion. Okay. My conclusion.
Come to your conclusion. Come to conclusion.
Okay. My conclusion: 1, the evolver of the Jurus Bendung in Mahaputra. 2, based on the result of the research, I also evolve Ngaguar Diri techniques, which is the technique to normalize high level of stomach acid and improve circulation. Okay, that's my presentation of the research. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is Harun.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I will just conclude in 1 minute. As I will just result in a conclusion. My study reveals that economic concerns like unemployment, economic problems and family issues lead to mental health issues, and which in turn leads to substance abuse, as they are trying to deal with the mental health issues. It is recommended that professionals should focus on delivering health education with their religious leaders, and also we should inform the parents so that they can teach their children about the issues that lead to mental health issues and subsequently to substance abuse. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Harun. Next one is Rani Rajab. Rani Rajab. Next one is Abhilasha Sharma. Abhilasha Sharma. Next one is Abhijit Chanda.
See, candidates, this is for your kind information that this is the second time we are calling your names. Already we are running short of time. So it's my humble request. This is the second time when your names are called. Kindly join.
So
Hello.
my name has not been called even for one time, Nikita Vidhani.
Hello.
Nikita, just
Hello.
wait a minute, Abhijit. Nikita, you are from which team?
My management.
Management is going in first link, Nikita. You have to join the first link. This is the second link.
Okay, ma'am.
Abhijit, Chanda, carry on with your topic.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to conclude by presenting my PPT. Just give me a moment. Ma'am, please kindly allow me to share that PPT.
Abhijit, whatever is in your mind, just speak earlier.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, my topic is comparative study upon the human rights perspective upon the rights of the children of prisoners, which is completely overlooked as a vulnerable sectors because there are various categories of vulnerable groups of children has been identified, but the children of prisoners has not been taken under the guidance of the any particular statute that not yet been enforced within our country. So my paper is to provide a comparative details towards having a comparative details upon the prevailing condition of these children of prisoners in UK as well as in US, as India being a signatory of UNCRC, it fails to provide it legislative recognition to these children of prisoners. Rather, the Juvenile Justice Act also fails to cover the status of children of prisoners under the section of children in need of care and protection. So likely to that, I would like to conclude by giving a prompt suggestion that these children of prisoners should be provided with adequate care and protection in terms of that as they are being subjected to vulnerability just because of their parental involvement into illegal activities. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Abhijit. Is there anyone who has not done the presentation yet? Anyone left? Anyone left here?
Yes,
The presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Suparna. Suparna, just tell one issue at one suggestion.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. I'm Suparna Sarkar, professor at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow. And my subject for deliberation today is the integration of sociology into architectural education for the enhancement of societal values. And I would like to present the architectural perspective. I had made a presentation as per your directions. However, I will just curtail my deliberations. So the first statement, which actually sparked off this thought, was a statement by Sir Winston Churchill in his speech to the meeting in the House of Lords in 1943, when he requested that the House of Commons, which was bombed out in 1941, to be rebuilt exactly as before. And he says, "We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us." So, how does architecture impact society? Just exactly how? Human behavior and organizational, familial, and personal spaces, they inform design. Architecture needs to develop culturally to stay relevant. Introducing sociology and developing critical design in architectural education is a welcome step towards human architecture. And the interdisciplinary referencing of architecture and sociology can potentially result in the emergence of architects as experts in the social. Various methods are there. Definitely literature review, my own experience as an architect for 2 decades, my experience as an academician where I used to teach sociology and architectural sociology in college, and now the new education policy of 2020. So all of this serves to observe and analyze the relations between architecture and society. And we need to study the spatial relationships which influence the physical environments on behavior. Like when we see a hut or a villa or a bungalow or a palace, a university.
Time is over.
Just a minute, I'll just give my conclusion. So whenever we see these different type of spaces and built environments, we know that it is the society which is actually influencing the architecture. And conversely, the architecture, it also influences the society. So when we go to a happy place, we behave in a different way. And when we go to a place which is not very happy, which is dingy, we may have a different kind of a mindset. So definitely, my proposition is that we should include and we should continue with the study of sociology in architectural education. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Is there anyone else left on the screen to present their presentations? Anyone else left? Thank you so much. So the participants are requested that they can leave the link. Thank you so much for giving us time. The results for the best presentation will be announced in the valedictory function tomorrow. And the results will be updated in the conference group as well. Thank you so much for joining us online.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Participants can leave the link. Thank you.
Sir, what do we do with our presentations? Because we have it ready with us.
So you didn't give your presentation?
Sir, I did give the presentation, but the PPT we could not show, which we made with a lot of, effort.
No issues. Thank you so much. All the participants can leave the link. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.